You found the Tony Basilio stream at TonyBasilio.com or on your smartphone or tablet. Another thrilling, chilling, and sometimes spilling edition of the Basilio Show is on the way next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com.
Listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
You know, it's nice to hear good news for a change. Tony Basilio welcoming you to another edition. We're on the Basilio Show. As I was saying before, it's nice to hear good news for a change. And today on the program, we're going to get after it. We need some good news. And the good news comes in the form of Rod Delmonico's returning tonight, going into the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame. The same Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame, Bino, that Donna Thomas one time was over. That inaugural class that, well, it had a bunch of Lady Vols in it, but it didn't have, they omitted one name, Bino. And who was the name omitted? It wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer at UT. Who was it, Beanstar?
That would have been General Nealon.
Can you make that up, Bino? And only at our place.
You cannot make that up. Tony.
Okay, so
you cannot make that up.
Coach Delmonico is coming back for the first time, and he was let go like 20 years ago. Isn't that crazy, Bino? That's been a long run, man.
Wow, man.
But he's back. He's fired up. We had a great conversation today, and it's neat that he's here. He had a chance to visit with his players last night. He said his heart was full. He said, Tony, I'm a Paisan. We get emotional. And I said, yeah, I know all about it, man. I'm a crier myself. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to be emotional about something. It means you care. Speaking of which,
he built something really hard to build here, Tony. We've seen that.
Well, I need you to hold my hand today, Bino, because I'm trying not to get all, shall we say, torn up about the portal. I'm trying to remind myself of I'm trying to practice what I preach in the blog, which is with the portal, there are going to be some ebbs and flows. There are going to be some ups and downs. And really, at the end of the thing, it's going to be topsy-turvy, and you want to come out of the thing in one piece and with a good basketball team. That's sort of the goal,
Yes.
And that's where I'm at on the transfer portal. I don't like seeing J.P. Estrella end up at Michigan, and Tennessee's either going to look, and here's the thing about it, they're either going to look very good and very smart, or they are going to be a real mess. And look, my belief from the very beginning is that Tennessee is swinging for the fences, but it's contingent on them landing their point guard of choice, and there seems to be some not great news on that front today. But you got to see it play out. We got to see it play out, so we'll see what happens. So, I don't know. The whole thing is I'm just trying to hang in there. Rick Barnes gets the benefit of the doubt, blah, 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 blah. My whole thing is with the super team talk is that's what they were attempting to do. That's why they let those guys go. You don't let those quality players go, Bino, unless you think you're going to fill your cupboard, right? That's not Rick Barnes' style. We've never seen him do this, have we?
No, we haven't, Tony. And, I've practiced the omerta that I learned at Y12 since you and I first started talking about some of these targets. Had my heart really set on a couple. And if they don't get them, I certainly hope they can find a reasonable facsimile.
That's amen. Yeah, because I've told Bino some of the guys, that they're going for. And, it's, I'm just trying, and I'm not trying to alarm anybody because this is all like a snapshot in time, but I was expecting this weekend. Now, they've got two guys coming in, and I think they're going to attempt to sign both of them. The kid from Cal, who's a nice player, but as I wrote today in the block, he's not a point guard. He's a two guard. I'm just going to keep it real. If that guy's your starting point guard, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. That's part one. Part two, when I was thinking super team a week or so ago and talking about that, I thought Evans and Estrella were a part of that, and maybe even Cade Phillips. So then my focus became, well, maybe these guys are going to land them all. But that doesn't look like it's the case. But maybe they have more tricks up their sleeve. Who knows? I know one thing. They have a lot of money. And there's half of college basketball is in the transfer portal right now, and you can't panic. You can't panic. But I don't know. I don't know. People are saying we're in trouble. I don't know that. So, Bino, I'm just going to let it play out. I'm going to trust Rick Barnes and let it play out.
Yeah, see the roster here, and once it's compiled and then evaluated. Something bouncing around in my mind, Tony, and I hesitate to say it, I'm going to.
Say it.
I'm going to. Rick Barnes has always been a guy. I don't think he's ever had a team that didn't return at least 7 players. Mm-hmm. And he's adapted. Mm-hmm. More so than a lot of the older coaches did to the portal and free movement of players and NIL. But I truly wonder if the type of reconstruction effort that this one is going to take and the number of new players you're going to have to bring in, I really wonder at the end of it, regardless of the results, if he doesn't think, I've done this enough. I wonder if this one isn't the last big effort for him. That's bouncing around in my mind.
I'm ashamed to admit, Bino, it's bouncing around in my mind too. I don't think he's in the mood for a rebuild. So I think they're either going to come back with a stronger team than they had last year, or I think he's going to walk away, would be my thought. Like, if you pin me down, because I don't think why would he want to sit there and coach a 18-19 win team? So I think that, you got a decent thought there. So,
I'm talking more end of the next season. But that's just something that's kind of been I just wonder how much more of this he has left in.
I'm thinking before this season.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah. And I guess that's why I think these guys have a ton of money to spend, and they've got really good people in their front office. But Matt Dixon made a really good point yesterday, and I love Matt because, Matt's real and raw. I mean, he's just going, people are, well, Matt's negative and blah, blah, blah. No, he's not. Matt loves Tennessee like you can't even comprehend. But here's the gamble. You're really gambling and you're playing liar's poker all at once. The gamble is we believe Estrella's not going to play a full season next year. We let him go. Michigan's looking at Estrella and they're saying, we believe he's going to play a full season. Let me tell you this. If he goes up there and plays a full season, he's going to average around 16 points a game, and we're going to look at it and go, God, that was a terrible move. And that's just the straight truth. That's going to look like a terrible move. But I just think that we just have to be patient, and that's me included in this whole thing. But yeah, Bino, I don't think this guy wants to sit there and, coach a mid basketball team. Because look, when they decided not to pay some of these culture guys, like Phillips is a culture guy. Evans is a really tough-nosed kid. Second year in your program. Personally, and I agree with Matt on this, I would have given him $2 million. Personally, I would have given him $2 million. Now, that's me. I would not let that kid go to Arizona. I'd pick the phone up right now and call him and say, hey, come on back here. We need you. But anyway, that's where I'm at. Estrella
and Evans are the ones that really hurt. The rest, I could have just waved goodbye to.
Yep.
But I understand $3 million's.
Yeah.
$3 million's a lot for a guy that you're not sure is going to be on the court.
JB Hill asked,
or maybe I'm just thinking with an old school mind here.
JB Hill asked, how do you go from he's building a super team a week ago to he's leaving before the season? That's a wild take. I didn't say that he's leaving before the season. Did I say that, Bino?
No.
What the hell are you talking about, JB Hill? Would somebody learn to listen? People piss me off, man. I didn't come close to saying that, man. I said, and this is how I feel, if they get through this portal period and they end up with a lesser team, I don't know that he coaches this year. I said that. It's kind of how I feel. But I don't think they're going to end up with a lesser team. They got $20 million to spend or something around that. And they've got really good people. What are you talking about, JB Hill? What are you talking about? Now, that said, I think Matt's right. I would have kept a couple guys here to have a core. And I probably would have, I know I would have overpaid for Evans to keep him here. So, I don't know. I think this thing is, I'm just trying to hang in there with it. I'm just trying to hang in there with it and share my thoughts. And I appreciate Bino dragging me into the mud there and getting me in trouble with
I'm sorry,
some of these listeners. There's another.
I told you I hesitated to say it. It's just a thought that's been bouncing around in my mind.
There's a moron, and I do mean a moron, on Twitter that says he wants me banned or something, excommunicated or something of that magnitude. Wants all my access cut off. That's what it was. It's all my access cut off. Because I fabricate and stir things up and listen. On the Chaz Coleman thing, I first of all, I didn't know anything about it. Somebody asked me about it on here, and I looked into it, and I found out that he wasn't practicing and he wasn't going to workouts. But other than that, everything was great with him. Now, Bino, is that my fault that he wasn't practicing and not going to workouts and is in fact homesick? And I wrote about it in the blog.
No, that is not your fault, Tony.
Okay. Should I be excommunicated for saying that out loud because a couple of national outlets read the blog because they know we have great stuff there and they picked up on it? Is that my problem?
No, I do not think it is, Tony.
Okay.
You're kind of a columnist too, Tony.
Yeah.
On your blog.
Sure. We do a little bit of everything.
Yeah. So columnists say what they think. No, that's not your fault, Tony, any more than Boo Carter's nonsense was your fault.
Exactly. I had people last summer mad at me for Boo Carter, and, I'm like, what in the world? It's not my problem. By the way, somebody said I said he had mental health issues. I didn't write that. No, other people were saying that. I said this week that he was a little homesick. I said if he did have mental health issues, I said to me it's fine because I've suffered from that stuff. Anxiety, depression, a large amount of our population do. But anyway, I do believe this. They don't know if he's going to play in the spring game tomorrow because I don't know if he's practiced this week. But other than that, it's not a story. I do believe this. They need to keep the wheels on that guy because he's very important because they let 2 of their edge rushers go. It's kind of like this portal thing again. We're back to this. That'd be a tough thing. So, BHO816. But even repeating it is irresponsible. No, it's not. No, it's not. What do you mean it's irresponsible? What? I don't believe it's that. What do you mean repeating it? I'm not repeating it. I said I don't believe it's that. What in the hell is wrong with people? So the point is that they've got to keep the wheels on that guy. Because going into tomorrow, their issues are, who's my quarterback? Now, defensively, as Throat wrote today, they've had a pretty good defensive spring. I think Tennessee football is going to feel pretty good about their defense going into the off-season/summer period. A lot better than they felt last year. For one thing, they're going to be competently coached. So their spacing should be good and all that good stuff. And they're in a league that's, and I'm going to talk to Huguenin about this on the other side, it's not exactly lights out, this league. But let's get to Hughie. We'll do that on the other side right after this. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires. Just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Fan Run Radio, where Big Orange Country comes to talk sports. Start your morning off with your daily dose of talk sports with John Reed and Cody McClure from 8 to 11. Then it's Tony Basilio from 11 to 1. The Playbook with William Pattison from 1 to 3. And The Drive from 3 to 6. It's 10 hours of hard-hitting local sports radio every day.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Gotta love this time of the year. Hoops here, home runs over there, and you've got to get your Tennessee on. And there's only one place, the best place to shop for your officially licensed Tennessee Volunteer Gear, Alumni Hall. Hands down, the best store for Vol fans. They've got the latest and greatest apparel for the entire family. Hats, man cave items, decor, and more. Get your Vols grill cover, a plate for your burgers, and of course, that chef's apron for all that outdoor grilling this spring. And accrue those rewards and watch your balance grow online or on the app. We'll see you at Alumni Hall and alumnihall.com and G to the B to the O, Alumni Hall.
Nothing reminds you of how much you rely on your air conditioner like the first really hot day in East Tennessee. Schedule Pipe Wrench Home Services' $79 seasonal tune-up now before the heat sets in. Our certified technicians inspect, clean, and fine-tune your HVAC system to help it run efficiently and reliably while reducing the risk of breakdowns when you need it most. And while we're there, we can also recommend ways to improve your indoor air quality for cleaner, healthier air throughout your home. For more than 20 years, homeowners across Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and surrounding communities have trusted Pipe Wrench Home Services for dependable comfort. And with our same-day service guarantee, you won't be left waiting when comfort matters most. Schedule your $79 seasonal tune-up today at pipewrench.com. Same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free. Offer valid on standard systems only. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
It's baseball time in Knoxville. Your Knoxville Smokies are back in action, and it's their first full week of the season. We've got free beer night on Tuesday.
Say what?
Yep, free beer until the other team scores. All you can eat on Wednesday, our first ever Knox Vegas Thirsty Thursday with half-off draft beers and fireworks on Saturday. Don't miss a minute of the action. Reserve your seats now at SmokiesBaseball.com.
Knoxville Smokies.
You bow your head, ladies and gentlemen, when you say thy name, because the great Hughie Bear is in the mix, and he's in the hunt with us, and he's in the hunt, and he's in the mix with us. And Mike Huguenin now joins the show, and he makes it happen with the greatest of ease. I love this guy. He's absolutely incredible. He joins us on Fridays, and he gets it done. And he's presented by our friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage. And they've been at it since the late 1800s. And Hughie's been at it just about that long. Hughie, how you doing, brother?
Doing well. I'm not that old, though, man. Come on.
Come on, Hughie. Hughie, this transfer portal thing is a mess, dude. Half the players in college basketball are in the portal?
Yeah, I think I've read a couple stories saying that when you consider the number of people who have applied for extra years of eligibility, even though they're seniors, it is going to end up being about 50% of the players, more than 50% of the players who played this past season at a Division I school. So, yeah, everybody's looking for more money, a better spot, all that kind of stuff. So, if you're a coach at college, I think being a basketball coach is tougher than football because basketball, you can turn your team around with one or two players. So, and if you lose one or two players, your team could go from being a potential 25-win team that makes the NCAA tournament to an 18-win team that's going to struggle. So, the college basketball transfer portal is, I think, even more important than the college football transfer portal.
My thing is, too, I'm watching what Tennessee just let some really good players walk out the door. They let Estrella walk out the door. They let Evans walk out the door. They let Phillips walk out the door. I mean, some pretty good college basketball players because they're swinging for the fences. Now,
and I think
they might
part
come
of that
up
also
short.
Is,
go ahead.
I think that maybe if you're Estrella, you think you're worth more than Tennessee does. So Tennessee says, okay, fine. We can get somebody at this price point that's as good as you or better, or we can get somebody cheaper than you. So I think it goes both ways. So, but yeah, you're right. Tennessee, for a team that was in the Elite Eight and had underclassmen on it or non-seniors on its roster. A lot of those guys, most of those guys are gone. Most of the good players are gone.
Yeah, it's wild, and there's a debate, among our fan base, and I'm sort of I'm trusting Rick Barnes.
Yeah, Barnes knows what he's doing. He's been around forever.
Yep.
The Justin Gainey loss to NC State, that's problematic. I think anytime you lose your lead assistant, but losing a lead assistant was more important 10 years ago when it comes to recruiting than it is today. Because today, Justin Gainey's not going to be there, but I'm still going to make X amount. Okay, I'm still going to Tennessee. So it's whereas in the old days, a lead assistant may have been the lead recruiter on somebody.
I think it's interesting because Tennessee was looking at what Michigan did and said, hey, we can do that. And then Michigan takes J.P. Estrella. But the thing about Estrella is, Hughie, I'm not paying $3 million for a guy that plays half the season, and that's what he's done the last couple of years.
I saw Tennessee probably 12, 13 games last year.
Yep.
I don't remember thinking, oh, my God, J.P. Estrella is awesome. No. And
You're exactly right.
$3 million at some point, oh, my God, that guy's fantastic. And I don't think that of Estrella. Though maybe Michigan's offense will unlock something because Michigan runs a different kind of offense than Tennessee, obviously.
Yep. And I love the fact that Barnes, he's swinging for the fences. He's obviously not getting any younger. And this is their tact. We'll see how it works out. It's hard, though, not to get all freaked out in the moment with the transfer portal, but there are so many incredible things that have happened here this week in terms of player movement. The kid from BYU or the kid from Kentucky, the Chandler kid leaving them, they're flailing. If you just look around the country, there are so many programs that are great programs that seem to be flailing. Duke's got a bunch of guys in the portal right now. It's just a total mess. And how do you keep from panicking?
You pay your coaches a ton of money so they don't panic. Yeah, I think if you're a Vol fan right now, if you're a BYU fan right now, maybe you're getting Chandler, but you lost Rob Wright, and obviously DeSantis gone, DeBantis gone. So it's a tough time to be a fan right now. But yeah, this is like the old trust the coaches and trust your basketball GM to find guys who can play. And I think part of this goes back to the way it used to be. You had a guy he played some as a freshman, became a key sub as a sophomore, and then a starter as a junior. Those days are long gone. Now you look for guys who have been developed elsewhere, and you plug them into your starting lineup. And the hope is for fans that your coaching staff finds the right guys. Because, Kentucky's a perfect example last year, a $22 million roster, and it didn't fit. It was a puzzle missing like three pieces.
Yep.
Whereas Michigan was a really intricate puzzle, and every single piece fit perfect.
Bino, I think that paying that kind of a money to Estrella is borderline foolish, in my opinion, Beanstar. I don't care how much money you have to pay.
Yeah, Mike. I mean, I look at it, and I'm kind of with Tony. $3 million's a whole bunch of money for Estrella. What does give me pause, though, is, and I know it's a really small sample size, but Michigan's talent evaluation looks to be kind of like what's going on with Indiana football. And for us to let him walk and them grab him up does give me pause. Give me some concern.
I mean, look at Ade Mara. UCLA, I would argue he was not used correctly.
Yep.
And for a 7'3" kid who looks ungainly, he's pretty darned athletic. And you wonder why, and maybe it was just that extra year of development, the sophomore to junior jump. But you also wonder, maybe Mick Cronin just didn't know what he had. Because when he left, UCLA wasn't that upset. So, and you're right, when Michigan signs a guy, it's all, I think there's, if Estrella leaves and goes to Oklahoma for 3 minutes, who cares? Estrella leaves, it goes to, maybe he's better than I think he is.
Yeah.
Because you give extra weight to certain programs. And I think that Dusty May, after only 2 years at Michigan, deserves that, wait a second here, because look what he did at FAU.
He's a hell of a coach, man. I mean, you said it. They made it look easy last year, but you have to know what you're doing. One thing I know about Barnes is he doesn't fool around with turds. And if he's got one, he doesn't play them. Like he doesn't play around with them. And Kentucky this past season, that's kind of what they did. And, you have to have guys that fit and play together. It's very difficult. You get an 18-day stretch. You got to put it together. You can have guys. This Dowd guy's an interesting example, right? This kid, you and I talked about him a couple weeks ago, the kid from Troy, or a week ago on here. Tennessee got him into the portal with a do not contact tag, okay? Ready? Now he's got 5 teams on him, and he's going to visit several teams, Hughie. Now, what about that makes any sense to anybody trying to follow this? That makes zero sense, does it?
Right, it does. But I think it's a case of when that happens, obviously people made backroom entreaties, and they probably told him, you're worth more than you think you are.
Right.
And don't limit yourself. So, but to me, I don't know, it's hard to get upset at players. Just look at what the University of Georgia did this weekend.
Yep.
Past weekend.
Yep.
They announced on Saturday that they had, quote unquote, parted ways with their women's basketball coach. They announced the new hire less than 24 hours later. So you can't tell me that Georgia, while it had a women's coach, was already negotiating with somebody else. So this is, Jerry Moorhead, the Georgia president's big in the NCAA rules. He's on all those rules committee. I mean, we got to have rules that people follow. Dude, your school didn't follow the rules. So it's hard to take anything anybody says seriously. And, again, the players for so long were treated like chattel. I get the fact that they got free education, and that is important from somebody who's paying for his daughter's college right now. But if what's good for the goose is good for the gander, so I think you have to tip your hat to every single player who's getting more money in the portal. Problem is, there's a lot of guys in there who are not going to get what they think they're worth.
And that's the thing. And that's why, Bino, you kind of hope that you can pick the phone up and call this Evans guy. That's sort of my hope, Beanstar. You can pick the phone up one way or the other. Either a team can come back to a kid and say, hey, we made a mistake. Or a kid can go back to a team and say, hey, coach, I've kind of decided I want to stay with you. I'm sort of holding out hope, Bino, on that. Maybe I'm being Pollyannish here, but I'm holding out hope on that, Bino.
No, I think you have to hold out hope on that, Tony. And obviously Tennessee has to revise what their initial intentions were, or their initial plan was, because it doesn't look like they're going to bring in the haul that they thought they were going to bring in. So that would be a natural thing. Mike, are we finally maybe taking a little bit of a step back toward a little bit more sanity with the possibility of the passing of the 5 years to play 5?
That
with
part,
the potential passing?
The age limit thing, to me, sounds like it could have some legs. The idea of limiting guys to one free transfer, that doesn't have legs. But I think the one problem with the age limit is, let's say somebody tears let's use Michael Penix as an example, the Falcons quarterback. The dude had 4 season-ending injuries while he was at Indiana and Washington. Oh, actually, they all came while he was in Indiana. So, I'm a 19-year-old freshman, and I hurt my knee. I'm a 21-year-old sophomore, I hurt my knee. I don't think too bad. You lost those 2 years because of injury. I don't think that would hold up. But the age limit aspect, to me, that I have no problem with that. Though you're going to have problems with guys who take Mormon missions, because a lot of times those guys
they've made an exception for them. That's in there.
21-year-old freshmen, and that's So you have to carve out that. But as everybody knows, if you live in an HOA community, once exceptions start being carved out, some people get ticked off.
And then, then will the courts uphold? Will the courts uphold it? That's the other thing, right?
Exactly right. Now, I don't think they will uphold the one transfer. So not to pick on Tommy Tuberville, but
that's dumb. That'll never work.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
I'll pick on him. That's stupid. So that's 25 years ago, Tommy Tuberville. Come on, man.
Exactly. And he had no problem changing jobs, but yeah. Okay.
Right.
I think everybody realizes that it's frankly anarchy at this point. But it goes back to the NCAA being so slow and being reactive rather than proactive. We could be in year 10 of NIL, and they could have already solved all the NIL issues and all the transfer issues, except the NCAA kept kicking the can down the road. And then their last kick, the can rolled into traffic and caused a 1,000-car pileup.
Hughie on the way out, because I got the great Rod Delmonico coming up, so we're going to shorten this thing up today. He's gone into the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame at the University of Tennessee tonight. He's back on campus, and it's a beautiful thing, and we're going to share some on-air love with him here momentarily, and I know you'd cede the way for that any day of the week. Who's your mover of the week, presented by our friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage?
I'm not sure. I think, actually, believe it or not, I was going to say Tennessee moving down because of the roster turnover. And again, an Elite Eight team that lost basically their entire starting lineup, and some of them had eligibility left. And you pointed out that just because you enter doesn't mean you leave automatically. Now, Lundblade is really good. I like that guy. I think he can be a Dalton Connect kind of guy because he's a really good sharpshooting wing guy. But I still think Tennessee's roster gives you pause, and it makes, Rick Barnes, who I think is a really high-level coach, he and his staff have a lot of work to do.
Hughie, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you, my man.
All right, talk to you next week. Thanks.
The great Mike Huguenin. Bino, when I say Rod Delmonico to you, what does Rod Delmonico, from your perspective, mean to this school when I say Rod Delmonico to you?
Tony, he was the first guy that was able to build a baseball program here that was truly top level. No one had been able to do that, and only one's done it since. So I'm eternally grateful that Rod Delmonico put Tennessee baseball on the map.
How about you, Bri?
I think Rod Delmonico developed the great Chris Burke.
Wow.
So Chris Burke, and we're all eternally grateful that Chris Burke became what he became, and we're benefiting from that due to Rod Delmonico's mentoring and coaching.
One thing that Rod and I talked about today for about a half hour, and one thing you get from this guy is the passion that he brings to the table. And this is a passionate guy that wore it on his sleeve. When he came here, we thought he was nuts because he was talking about going to Omaha, and everybody was looking at him. I remember I was here at the time. I was a young kid, but I remember looking at the guy and going, that guy's out of his damn mind. And he went several times. Hey, Rod Delmonico, welcome back, man. We're so glad to have you back home, and welcome back, brother.
Thank you, Tony. It's glad to be back home. Thank you very much.
You are you're loved here, man. Your time is treasured, and I know several of your former players who have lived here, made their homes here, made a mark in our community. And I know you had a chance to get together with some guys last night. What's it feel like to be back?
Well, I think about it feels amazing. But one of the things I thought about last night was in '95 when we went to Omaha. I remember a reporter asking me, well, this has got to be the best team you've ever had. These the best players you've ever had. And I remember telling him, I don't know why I said it, but it just came up. I said, I won't know for 25 years whether or not this is my best team, best players, until they get out in the real world and they see what the real world's like and what they do with, what they've learned here in school and class, et cetera. And then last night I reflected on that because I had a chance to look at those guys in the eyes that were part of the 95 team. There were several of them there, and they've done so well in life, and husbands, dads, in the business world. And they were like my sons, to see them have success is what coaching's all about. That's what we're teachers. We're coaches. We're there for the players. It's not about us. It's about the players.
And it's one thing about today that's kind of lost. You don't get these guys long enough to really pour yourself into them. It's very transactional. And I hate that for college sports now, but that's where we are.
Yeah, well, I had a lot of junior college players that had 1-2 years, but then I was lucky enough to have some players 3-4 years. And that was just a moment. Now with the transfer portal, you have a player maybe for a year, semester.
Yep.
That's the sad part about where athletics has gone in college, because as a coach, you really invest your energy, time, your heart and soul into the player to make him the best that he possibly can be and help teach him life skills that will help him on the field and once he leaves there.
One of the things you shared with me today, Coach, that I wanted you to sort of impart to the listener, because I think people don't understand this about just the art of coaching in general, is you were telling me today that there's nothing like when you see somebody grow. And I've got a friend that was a coach at the major league level for a long time, and he's got a saying, and his saying is, guys are allowed to get better. Because we as fans, we judge the first thing we see. And you'll look at a kid that's a freshman and go, oh, he can't play, or, whatever. You were telling me today one of the great thrills for you was getting a chance to see somebody grow. Expound on that if you can.
Well, for me, you can get caught up in all the accolades and the games and the lights and the fans and the media and all that kind of stuff that distracts you from the essence of why you're there. What I miss the most about coaching till this day is when the lights came on for a player, when he learned that maybe his education was going to carry him further than his athletic career, or he learned how to hit a curveball, lay a bunt down, or more importantly, he knew what it meant to go to practice and give it everything he had to prepare, but also to grow as a player. And when my players' lights came on, that's what I miss more than anything. And that's what really juiced me. That's where I got my joy. And that's the true essence of why you coach, is to get that guy's lights to come on, to push him to a level he thought he could never get to. And when he accomplishes something that in many times you weren't sure he could get there, but he did, that's the joy of coaching.
Great stuff. We're visiting with Rod Delmonico today, who I'll just share a little piece with you. When Coach was at Tennessee, he called me and said, hey, I listen to your show. I want you to come over here and be my hype guy on the microphone and be our stadium guy. And I said, Coach, I'm an outside guy, not an inside guy.
Right.
But I always remembered that. I'm like, this guy was crazy enough to pick the phone up and invite Tony Basilio inside the house. I mean, my gosh. But Bino Jeff Henderson, and Coach, by the way, goes into the University of Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame this evening. He's back. He's back on the campus. It's been a long time for him to get back, and we're just so pleased and thrilled that he's back here, because without him, there was and would have been no Tony Vitello here. Tony told me that. He said, make no mistake about it. He showed what was possible here. And before I bring Bino in here, Coach, I understand you kind of have a relationship with Tony Vitello. Talk about that if you can.
Well, before that, I got to respond to why I brought you over, tried to get you to come over. I loved your energy, and you were a tie. So it was obvious I needed to get this guy on campus to try to help me. Didn't work out, but you've done well over the years. But, yeah, I've been very fortunate talking with Tony over the years and texting and going back and forth. I just texted him last night and this morning. He is an amazing recruiter. He has the it factor. He did an amazing job. And you have to understand, I was excited that he came in. I will have to say it took another Italian to fix this place. But he came in and brought back the pride and the things that we worked so hard for. I mean, we built that from the ground up, and to see it go sideways there for years, it was so good for him to get us back to number one, back in Omaha. He won the national championship, and along with Frank Anderson, who I thought was the best pitching coach in the country, did an amazing job there. And I really think Tony's going to do well at the big league level. He's got the it factor. He just has to be Tony. He doesn't get caught up and try to do something different. He'll figure it out. He's going to do well at the next level.
Bino, Jeff,
Coach,
jump in here. Go ahead, Bean.
Got two quick things for you, Coach. Well, first one, you were part of a great Florida State program as an assistant there before you came here to be the head coach at the University of Tennessee. I'm sure you had a whole lot of offers. What was the draw for you here?
Well, first of all, Mike Martin had a lot to do with my success in my career. Even at Tennessee, I would call him and ask him advice on certain things, discipline, practice. I mean, we talked all the time. I wouldn't be where I was today if it wasn't for Coach Wilhelm at Clemson, where I was a graduate assistant, and Mike Martin at Florida State. I was so fortunate to be there. I learned a lot. We went to 3 World Series, runner-up one year. I mean, had a lot of success. Probably one of the top 2 greatest coaches in college baseball was Mike Martin, and I was honored and privileged I had the opportunity. But I'll tell you what brought me here, Coach Dickey. Coach Dickey, I believe that he would do what he said he would do. He took a chance on me. I was 31 years old. And incidentally, people don't realize he was 31 when he got the head football job here at Tennessee. But he took a chance on me, and I will always be grateful for that. Really, you wouldn't be talking to me tonight if it wasn't that Coach Dickey reached out and took a chance. That's what he did. He took a chance. And I kind of learned as I went and to be a head coach. And his support, his leadership, best athletic director I ever worked for. He treated me in many ways kind of like a son. He'd call me on the weekends when I was struggling, and he'd call me when I was doing well and say, hey, don't get too big-headed. You got a big game Tuesday. You got LSU next week. I mean, he coached me as a coach, and I really always appreciated that. He was an amazing athletic director, and his leadership shows why he was so good.
So Doug Dickey would stay in contact with coaches or with you during the year, like you guys would talk frequently?
Well, he knew my players. I mean, he knew who was going to start and who was my closer. I mean, he knew them by name. But the thing that I loved the most about Coach is he'd call me on a Sunday after we had a bad weekend, lost 2 out of 3, and he'd say, hey, Rod, you got guys get ready to play on Tuesday. You got to get them up. Got to get them ready to play. And then next week you got such and such. He said, hey, keep them up. But then he'd do the reverse if I won a series. Hey, don't get too big of a head now. You got a big game Tuesday, Wednesday. You got to go play next week. It's the middle of the year. He said, he coached me like he would coach his players or a coach. And I really appreciated that. Even after he retired and he was around, I would call him and ask him advice on how to discipline a player or what to do, because his wealth of knowledge about the game of coaching and working with players was second to none. He was not only a great coach, he was a great athletic director.
I want to brag on Rod Del Monaco real quick, because we realize and saw Tony here as this kind of force of nature in this sort of modern thing that's become, and all the games are on television and this, that, and the other. In his day, Rod had to fight to get the games on the radio. Rod had to fight to get the baseball stadium, which was there when I was a kid, you had a couple bleachers. It basically was like a modified type of high school setup they had down there at Lower Hudson Field. And then when they first built Lindsey Nelson Stadium, it was at the time very, very, very nice, but it still wasn't up to spec to host a regional. You just fought for all that. Like, you literally went to a school. I'm not even sure if they knew where Omaha was.
No, they didn't have a lot of tradition. The sad thing was in 1951 with B.B. Hopkins.
Yeah.
They finished second at the College World Series.
Mm-hmm.
Incidentally, Oklahoma beat them. And Oklahoma just spent a little more time on baseball over the years, and that's why Oklahoma was better in the 60s and 70s and 80s, and just didn't put a lot of emphasis here in baseball. And that's why I said Coach Dickey had a lot to do with our success, because he came in and said, we're going to put an emphasis in baseball. And it's the reason I stayed here with him, and because I believed in him and I trusted that he'd do everything he could to help me.
People were looking at you at the time like, who is this nut? You were literally talking about, from the very beginning, going to Omaha. People thought you were crazy.
Well, they first of all, I thought I was crazy because I'll never forget, Colonel Moeller one time stopped me in the hallway and said, Rod, I understand, I keep hearing you say you want to go to Omaha and play baseball. He said, there's enough good teams around here in Tennessee to play. And I said, Colonel, that's where they have the College World Series, and that's where we want to go play. And he goes, College World Series? He said, Rod, if you go to College World Series, that Tennessee River is going to split like it did back in the Bible. And I said, well, Colonel, it's going to split one day because we're going to go to Omaha. And I'll never forget that. I thought, geez, they don't even know where the College World Series is here, you know. But, those were great days. Those were days that you had to battle and fight for just about everything you got.
And you're a fighter. As Rod Delmonico joins University of Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame, he goes in tonight, and it is just so well deserved, and it's just so great, to see you back. Thought for you when you think back to your time here, and you think back on your time as a coach, and you and I were talking today. You said when you get to a certain spot, you just kind of reflect on, man, the things I did right, and then the things that I wish I could have changed. If you looked at a young Rod Delmonico today, what would you have said to that young guy, looking back on yourself?
Well, when you're young, like I was at 31, I came in saying we're going to go to Omaha. Probably an older coach wouldn't have said that. They'd have been a little more careful. I wasn't smart enough to do that. I just said, hey, here's my goals. I'm going after it. Mm-hmm. I would tell that young Rod Delmonico, like Cervantes said, the journey is better than the end. Enjoy the moment, enjoy the years, enjoy the players. But early in my career, I was so focused on trying to build a program, trying to get bleachers for the stadium, or trying to improve our media guide, or all the things that we had at Florida State I was trying to get, that you lose sight of the journey. And that's the best part of the gig. We were always chasing an SEC title, or to try to get back to Omaha, get in a regional, or sign a great player, or the next great player. And I forgot to enjoy the journey. And later in my life, at a career at Tennessee, I was able to enjoy the journey. The 2005 team, that was the one year that I honestly enjoyed seeing the players and pausing for a moment and watching them grow during the year. And I remember when Fitzgerald hit the home run against Georgia Tech to pretty much ice the game. And he was a backup player for us that didn't play every day. And the players were so happy, not that we hit the home run and we're going to Omaha probably, but that Fitz got the base hit. They were so happy for him. That's how close we were as a team. And we had some amazing kids on that team. Oh, my gosh, just incredible people. So that's what I would tell them. Enjoy the journey, have a little more patience. and which I didn't have. And but then again, I think I was able to achieve some things because I didn't have patience.
Yeah, it's kind of a yin and yang, right? Go ahead, Beanstalk.
Yeah. Oh,
do you have any?
Go ahead, Brian.
Do you have any Chris Burke stories?
Yes, I got a great one. His junior year, sophomore, junior year, I went to Chris and I said, Chris, there was a guy that I recruited out of Florida State that went to Miami, F.P. Santangelo, that was a utility player in the big leagues. And so I went to Chris and I said, Chris, I'm going to play you in left field in the fall, third base. I'm going to move you around a little bit because I think to get to the big leagues, you might get drafted where they got a great second baseman, and to get there, you're going to have to play third, left, center, whatever. He looked me straight in the eye and he said, Coach, I appreciate what you're saying, but I'm going to be a big league second baseman. I said, okay, Chris, I understand. I just, he said, I'll do what you want me to do, but I'm going to be a big league second baseman. I said, okay. So fast forward, he signs. I go see him play in New York at the Mets complex. I'm at the cage. Phil Garner's there. He's managing the Astros. And that day, Chris Burke was hitting third, playing center field. And I said, Chris, I said, you remember what I said to you back when? He said, yeah, I know. I said, it's paid off. You're in the lineup because you can play center field. And I never forgot that because that's how confident he was. And that's why he got to the big leagues, because he maximized his potential.
And he believed, right? I mean, he's 5'0".
Yeah. When he came, and this is the truth, he had stiff hands, not a great arm. He could run. He could steal the bait. Like, he could steal from the moment he got there. And he slapped the ball. His junior year, going into his junior year, he's playing on the USA team. And here's a guy that's a two-time All-American. He came in the office and I said, Chris, there's more in there. You got to get some more power. You got to get your hands going. And I'll never forget, I was out recruiting in New York, and he called me and he said, Coach, I figured it out. I got a leg kick. And I immediately thought, oh, my God, what a leg kick. He came back in the fall. He'd worked on getting a load and loading. He went from 3 home runs to 20 and, went from a marginal draft pick to a first rounder. I mean, Chris Burke made himself into a great player.
It's he's not here without you. And by the way, he's like Mr. Vol. He's really annoying with it almost. Go ahead, Bino, jump in.
Coach, I got one that's going to blow Tony's mind here. You not only played baseball at Liberty, but you played soccer there too.
Yeah, I played soccer. It's kind of funny you asked that because last night Ed Lewis came back from Wilmington, my hometown, and his dad was was the soccer coach and also the baseball coach. And the reason I played soccer was because you either played football or you did something, but as a baseball player, you didn't take the fall off. So I went to play soccer so they'd run you to death. So I volunteered to play goalie because they didn't have to run as much as a goalie. So we did that to stay in shape for baseball. And I got to play both and enjoyed playing soccer. I did it for fun.
It's a great sport, man. You never quit running. Those guys are in incredible shape that do that.
Oh yeah, they are. But I was in shape, but not like them because I just was the goalie. I could throw it. That was the other thing. I could throw it, and they liked that. Ed Lewis' dad was my soccer and baseball coach in high school. And incidentally, he's the guy that helped cut Michael Jordan.
Wow, really?
Yeah. And when I recruited Ed, I said, Ed, Coach, I got to ask you, how in the world did you cut Michael Jordan? He said it was easy. And this is exactly what he said. He said when he was a sophomore, we would play at lunchtime. And my coach was a pretty good athlete. And he said, I beat him like a redheaded stepchild every day. He said he was about 5'10", couldn't jump. I mean, he could jump, but he couldn't shoot. He didn't have game. And then between his junior and senior year, he grew into Michael Jordan. And, but yeah, that was my high school coach.
That is so next level.
Yeah.
He's the guy. He's the footnote.
Well, here's the other thing. People don't realize Michael Jordan held the record in the state of North Carolina for consecutive scoreless innings as a pitcher. And his senior year, he didn't play because back then, if you went to the McDonald's All-American, you lost your eligibility in North Carolina. And he went in to ask Coach Lewis, should I go? He said, yeah, that's your future. Give up baseball. And so he didn't play his senior year because of the McDonald's All-American game.
The great Rod Delmonico joining. He goes into the University of Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame. He gathered with a bunch of players and friends last night and celebrated the old times and the great times. And again, if it's not for you, what goes through your mind when you look at that baseball stadium right now, when you walk through there and saw that?
Well, I mean, to be honest, my first thought is, gosh, I wish I had that.
Amen. Amen.
or had this. You know what I would love to have had? And Coach Dickey talked about doing it, but I think he got turned down up the ladder. But AstroTurf the field, the way we like to run, if we had an AstroTurf field, we would have run people out of the stadium, out of the state, But yeah, I would love to have that AstroTurf because with the cold weather up here and the rain, you don't miss as much practice. You get more done. And, Miami built a program on AstroTurf, won several national championships because it just gave them a little bit of an edge.
And, the reason Tony did it, which is interesting, when he first got here, he made the change. He said, I want kids playing on this field. I want high-level prospects in here playing summer tournaments. I want the community to be able to use it. And that's what they do. That, like in the summer, that thing is constantly getting used, and they will peek out there and take a look at who's on the field. You never know, right?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. It's a great concept. That's why Tony was a great recruiter.
And from your perspective, when you look at it, because it's not built without what you guys did. It's just not. Because he would not have taken the gig. He's told me that. He says, what that guy did, it's crazy what you guys were able to accomplish. But, man, having Todd Helton in your backyard, how nervous were you when the Padres took him? And the Padres being the Padres, just over a few $100,000 at the time, basically, right? That's what it came down to, the Padres being the Padres.
Well, it did, and I don't think his mom and dad wanted him to sign, and his grandma had a lot to do with that. And you'd have to talk to Todd exactly what turned him, but I remember his mom calling me saying they were coming and she didn't want him to sign. And all we tried to share with Todd is that if you come, you got a chance to double your money, play football, which he wasn't crazy about playing, but chance to play football and baseball. And I think it not only helped him, every program has a guy. Ben McDonald was the guy that took LSU to the College World Series in, I think, 1986 or 87, and the rest was, history, what happened. Skip Bertman just, went on to build a tremendous program there. Our guy was Todd Helton. When we got Todd, we actually signed two other guys that played in the big leagues in that same recruiting class. A.J. Pierzynski was coming here out of Orlando, and then we had another pitcher out of Huntsville, Alabama, Woodward, who pitched probably, 8-9 years in the big league. So Todd opened the door for us to get some great high school recruits in. And then from that point on, he was a 3-time All-American, USA team, player of the year, player of the conference. And then literally Todd took us to Omaha. He not only, as you know, Tony, hit, probably one of the best pitchers we've ever had there. As a closer, we were like 92-3 when winning after the 7th inning because of him in 3 years. He was phenomenal.
Rod Delmonico joining us is such a treat. Let me keep it live and legal here.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
So we're visiting with Coach Delmonico, who tonight goes in the University of Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame. Back to that era, somebody told Bino and myself over at Calhoun's an incredible story. They said that, so Todd comes over and he's trying to get some swings in the fall. And, Todd's pretty, has this sort of nondescript way that he's always carried himself. He doesn't act like a superstar. He doesn't, he just has this kind of way about him, right? So he's over there getting some swings in with the walk-ons. Is that a true story that somebody comes up the tunnel and grabs you and says, "Oh my God, you got to come see this guy"?
No, it's so funny.
Okay.
What was funny is we had our manager.
Okay.
Equipment manager was feeding the machine.
Okay.
And so we were sitting there grading out all the players.
Right.
Well, when Todd came in to hit, our equipment manager noticed that Larry and I started talking to each other. And what we were talking about was the guys that were trying out and who we liked, who we didn't like. So we were in a deep conversation of who we might keep or not keep. Mm-hmm. And the equipment manager noticed that we weren't paying attention. And Todd was just drilling balls out of the ballpark and hitting them in the he's being Todd. And he was trying to get our attention. And he stopped it and came over there and said, "Coach, this guy's pretty good." And I go, "We know. It's Todd Helton." And he felt so stupid because Todd just walked up like nobody, like he was a walk-on in just shorts and a T-shirt, started hitting. And it was the funniest thing because he thought we were missing the next great prospect. It was so funny. But that's a true story.
That's incredible, man. And that's the kind of stuff that of lore that is just, you can just picture that. This guy's feeding the machine. Here's this kid with a swing that literally looks like it came off the set of The Natural, right? Is that the prettiest baseball swing you've ever been around, Rod? What Todd had?
When he came in as a freshman, he looked like a junior. His dad told him to hit everything to left. And he hit balls out in left field that all of our right-hand hitters would be proud to own pulling. He just, his knowledge of the game, that was the other thing I was really impressed with, his knowledge of the game, but his competitiveness, he was fun to watch.
And those Central kids were really key in helping jumpstart this thing, right?
Oh,
Chris
yeah.
Freeman, those guys were really key, right?
Oh, Bubba Trammell.
Great player, yep.
And Freeman won 12 games on Sunday for us. He was our Sunday starter. I mean, Freeman would have started. We had three starters. We talked about that last night. In 94, we had Bronson Heflin. I think he won 11 or 12. R.A. Dickey loses his first one, then wins 14 in a row. And then Freeman was like 12-1 on Sunday. I mean, we had three Friday night starters in 94. That's why we won the SEC. And then we had Todd Helton in the bullpen for a closer and a spot starter sometimes.
Wow. Just amazing stuff. So on the way out, just my question for you, my friend. How's it feel to be back and to be loved? And how are we going to react tonight? Are you going to do the Italian thing and get up there and cry like I would? Or are you going to fight the urge when you're making that speech? Because I want you to let it flow, my brother. Let it flow, my man.
Tony, I got two things against me. I'm getting older and I'm Italian and I'm emotional. And, I lead with my heart and that gets me into trouble sometimes. But, just the one thing, they gave us a time limit of like 3 minutes or something. I was here 18 years. There's not enough time to thank all the people. I mean, I could go right down the list of our bullpen president, Terry Atkins, Dean Craig, our FCA director. I mean, I could just go right down of all the people that got Roger and Barbara Campbell were the first people to come on the road and watch us, and they didn't have a son. They just wanted to come watch us play. There was Tom and Donna Chase. We had people that would stand out there in the rain and watch us play. So the fan support, the people, Bill Higdon, Carmen Tagano. I mean, there's just so many people that I would like to say thank you to. And I don't have enough time tonight to thank everybody. And I'm really grateful and thankful. And I'm blessed by God that I had the opportunity to be here for 18 years. The memories that I will carry to the day I die are unmatched. And it warms my heart that I'm able to come back and for a short moment thank as many people as I can for giving me the opportunity and taking a chance on me.
Thank you, my man. Great catching up with you. God bless,
brother.
Thank
you, Tony. Thanks for having me on. God bless you as well.
All right, thank you. The great Rod Del Monaco, one more time. Time well spent. Take a brief time out. Bino, you got people mad at us for speculating about the Barnes thing. Bino, you should never said that. You got Scott Whaley's all tore up here in the chat.
I'm sorry, Tony. I told you I hesitated to say it. I have zero inside information. I was just throwing a gut feeling out there that this is not Barnes's deal. And I just wonder in my mind if this might be the thing that makes him decide, I've had enough. I was just speculating.
Bring the great Amanda Rich now in. My Smokies are back home. Amanda, I'm going to paint the picture for you. I was there last Friday night. It was an unbelievably first-class season opener. You're back in town again this weekend, but afterwards we went and took a nice walk in the old city. Went over and got us some gelato after the game down there. You can make the whole experience downtown. It was beautiful, beautiful night like the weather we're going to get this weekend. Amanda, it's a great experience to come out and see our Smokies, is it not? Amanda's going to join us here momentarily. I don't know where. Bino, let me do this. Let me take a brief time. That was a great setup by me. Damn, I'm good. More after this.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
Big news, Basilio family. Get ready, because the 2026 Knoxville real estate market is officially shifting into high gear. All signs are pointing toward a record-breaking year, and the energy across East Tennessee is absolutely electric right now. Whether you've been dreaming of finding that next home, looking to capitalize on your current equity, or ready to dive into the investment world, the timing has never been better. Having a game plan is the key to winning in this fast-paced market, and I'm ready to help. Give me a call, Jennifer Morris, at 865-694-5904, or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols!
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Got a plumbing or HVAC problem at home? Whether it's an AC that won't cool, a furnace acting up, a clogged drain, or a water heater problem, Pipe Wrench Home Services is ready to help. Right now, when you schedule any HVAC or plumbing repair, your service fee is waived with the completed repair. That means expert help fast without the extra cost just to show up. Our certified technicians will quickly diagnose the issue and provide reliable solutions to make your home comfortable again. And with our same-day service guarantee, you won't be left waiting when help matters most. For more than 20 years, homeowners across Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and surrounding communities have trusted Pipe Wrench Home Services for dependable comfort. Schedule your repair today at pipewrench.com. Same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free. Service fee waived with completed HVAC or plumbing repair. Restrictions apply. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
When a dangerous, overgrown, or storm-damaged tree is threatening your home, your car, or your family, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes, your local tree-cutting experts. From precision tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, ECR Total Landscapes has the equipment and the experience to get the job done safely and efficiently. Call today to set up your free estimate, 865-384-2012, or just go online to ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama Zizi approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and Zizi.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
Yeehaw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Basilio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com. Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company. Shouting her out, ladies and gentlemen. Shout it out loud. And then Bino's got some apologizing to do to a couple people that are all tore up at him. But that's another story for another day. As they say in the trade, Amanda Rich now joins with our Smokies, who are back home, a homestand. They are home for the weekend. The weather is perfect. There are zero excuses not to get out here this weekend. And Amanda, I was bragging on you before you went to the timeout. I was down there Friday night. It was an absolutely perfect night for baseball. The game was perfectly presented by you all. The amenities there were incredible. The everything about the ballpark and the experience is absolutely first class in the way the game's presented. And then after the night was over, walked down with our family. We went out and visited down the old city, got gelato at the gelato place with my paisan down there at the gelato place. And then there was live music in the courtyard right across the street down there after the game down in the old city. I mean, everything about it so next level. So thank you, Amanda. Good to have you on.
Yes, thank you. Happy to have baseball back. And, opening night was perfect. The weather was perfect, and we're looking forward to another weekend of perfect baseball weather.
So talk to me here, because you fire me up, you focus me, and prepare me. When folks come tonight, what are they in for?
Well, they're in for absolute perfect baseball weather. It is a Gary Yeoman's Feel Good Friday, so we've got all the vibes come in. And it's also a Chick-fil-A Friday. So come out, enjoy Smokies baseball, and get some free Chick-fil-A while you're at it. Saturday, we've got fireworks coming up with our summer fireworks series. So those are always great to stick around post-game. And then Sunday, we're going to be kicking off our first Cub Club day of the season finally. So getting our future Smokies their goodie bags and out on the field to run those bases.
What is the Cub Club? Talk to me here.
Yeah, Cub Club is a free offering that we have for this season where kids ages 12 and under can be registered by their parents. There's a link on our website, and we'll also have QR codes here that you can sign up, but free to sign up. Your kid will receive a goodie bag filled with all sorts of stuff from our wonderful presenting sponsors, including Zoo Knoxville and Dick's House of Sports. Plus, they'll receive ticket vouchers and freebies throughout the season. And then every Cub Club home game, the Cub Club members will get to run the bases after the game.
That's an awesome thing, man. If I was a kid, I'd be in that Cub Club so quickly it'd blow your mind. In fact, I might join it. Do you have an age limit? Can I go out there and run?
Unfortunately, the Cub Club official members are 12 and under, but we won't deny you if you come down there to take a lap around the bases on Sunday.
See that? Amanda Rich, you're good people. Okay, so on Saturday, what are we doing?
Saturday, we are here for more baseball and ready to take in the summer fireworks series. So stick around for lighten up the sky after the game.
Unbelievable. And then Amanda, the Sunday is the Cub Club day. Anything else you'd care to add in terms of what we're doing this weekend? Because there is zero excuse not to get out and see the Smokies this weekend.
It's going to be a great weekend. We're excited. Our gates are open. The weather's going to be perfect. We have all sorts of great activities. And to your point, there's so much to do around the stadium. Come early, check out the Old City, stay late, go to the Old City afterwards. It's going to be a great weekend down here at the stadium.
I mean, it's literally like we're going to play Saturday night from 7 to 10 down at Side Hustle, which is at 100 North Central Street. So go to the Smokies game and then come over and see us afterwards. You will not be sorry. But I really, really, really appreciate you coming on here, and we love your support down through the years, and we love supporting what you guys do. And Chris Allen is so great and has been so great to some of our charities and things that we're involved with. So first class all the way. Amanda, anything else you'd care to add here on the way out? Because you're next level.
Hey, just be there, be square this weekend. We're ready for some fun.
Thank you. Unfortunately for Bino, my cohort Bino, he is square, but thank you. Thank you. That's another.
Thank you. We'll see you this weekend.
Yeah, it's another story for another day. I'll see you down there. And Amanda, when you guys get off, come out and see us. Come sing a tune with us with your Fountain City Ramblers. All right, Bino, you stirred everybody all up. You stirred everybody
Tony,
all up.
I didn't mean to swat the hornet's nest right off the top. It's not. I really, that was not my intention. I apologize to anyone I offended. Yes. I didn't say Barnes was quitting. I didn't say I hope Barnes was quitting. I just said that I have a thought in my mind that for a guy who has been a culture guy his entire life,
yep,
who has never had less than 7 returning players,
yes,
a guy that's hung in really well through this NIL and free transfer, a guy that's going to be 72 in July. Yep. All I said was, I wonder if this type of reconstruction that he's going to have to do here might not make him think, maybe I just don't want to do this anymore.
And I added to
my
that.
thought only.
I added to that, Bino, that when you're in the mindset that you're letting pretty good players go because you're going for it.
Yeah.
And if you put together a roster that you know is short, it only adds to that thought from me. And the thing we've seen with some of these coaches is Bruce Pearl did it last year. The coach at Virginia did it a couple years ago. It's the thing in that sport now. These guys get to that spot where, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and go. That's a fear. But listen, people say, well, you shouldn't say that out loud. I do a talk show. Okay, damn it. I'm going to tell you what I think. I'm sorry. If you don't like it, turn the damn dial.
Yeah.
Okay. And as for the Chaz Coleman kid, I didn't disappear from my team. He did. I didn't do it. Somebody on here told me about it earlier in the week. I said I'd look into it, and that's what we came up with. And somebody was speculating, he's going through his, and I said, hey, everybody goes through all kinds of stuff. And, the mental health thing is not so, I take that seriously. But he's, well, you said he had I said he's homesick. It's what I reported. I wrote it. I said, I'll check into it. It's what I wrote. He's homesick. It's okay. I asked Watson Brown, how many kids you had home? Oh, Tony. So what do? Well, you try to, get him through it. Nothing wrong being homesick. Here's the thing about this program, okay? Turn a damn dial. I can't help you. I don't know what to say. Turn the dial. Turn the dial. Okay? Let's go to the phones. 865-200-5402. And here's the thing about the Coleman guy, and it speaks to the portal, okay? The nuts and bolts of the portal. And this is kind of what Tennessee basketball just did. They let two pretty good defensive ends go to fill his slot. They took his money, and they were paying him 7 figures plus, okay? As we reported in the blog the other day. They're paying this guy a ton of money because defensive ends are a premium position in that sport. Guys that can get home at the quarterback. It's just like in the NFL. Those guys make right around top dollar in the league. Quarterbacks make the most money. Those ends are really highly paid if you look at that league. And college football is the major college level mirrors it. You're going to pay your top-notch, a guy in your secondary, like an all-pro level player, gets a lot of money on an NFL roster, and tackles on the NFL roster, particularly the blindside tackles, going to make the most money. That's how it goes. And then wide receivers make pretty good money. The interior guys now, the linebackers used to be really, really tremendously valued, Bino, in our era of football. I mean, they're still valued. You got to have them to win. You can't have what we had last year and win. But this is interesting. This is they got to keep the wheels on this dude, Beanstar. I guess is my point.
Yes, they do, Tony, and it's not. He was probably the most highly thought of addition.
Yes.
In the transfer portal of everyone that we got. So you certainly hope that you can keep the wheels on him and get him comfortable and get him on the field and where he can be productive.
And apparently somebody told me that Austin Price is reporting that he's going to have a family member come stay with him, which is what we wrote a couple days ago. Now, is he being invasive in reporting that? I had a guy on Twitter last night wants me banished from the face of the earth because I wrote that. I mean, what in the hell? The guy makes a ton of money. The guy disappeared from the program this week. They don't know if he's playing in tomorrow's game. I mean, again, what am I getting ready to say, Bino? Help me
Didn't do it.
Thank you. Tony, would you write that again if you had a chance? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Yes. Would I write that stuff or say that stuff about Boot Carter that we said in the summer? Yeah. Yeah. Unapologetically. Yes. 100 times out of 100. 100% of the time. Bino, if you had, Bino, a chance, okay? If you had a chance to take it all over again, to do it all over again, Bino, would you have said what you said about Barnes earlier, that what was on your mind?
I thought that's what I thought that's what my role was here, Tony, was to say what was on my mind.
Okay, thank you. Now, without further ado, hi, this is Tony. Yeah, hey, how you doing?
Yes, how are you doing, Anthony?
Oh, Anthony's doing great, thanks.
Oh, thank you. Sounds good. All right, this is Adam. I was calling actually about the property at 6709.
Hey, Adam, I love
Yeah.
you. I appreciate you. I get calls like this all the time. I'm not interested, man.
All right, sir.
But
Thank you.
Hey, you have yourself a
Yeah.
Doc Gooden, though. Have a D. White Gooden.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Have a D. White Gooden. Have a Gooden. Have a Gooden.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Have a Gooden. That's my life in 60 seconds.
Sounds like the phone line between here and Bangladesh might be a little bit choppy this morning.
What was he calling in regard to, Tony?
Knows.
The Commodore 54? What did he say?
I have no idea. I'm going to leave. I leave all things audiology-wise to my main man who now joins. We're going to get some calls in with him. He doesn't know that, but Dubsy now joins. Dubsy's going to be out among the people today at Fan Run Radio. Dubsy, how you doing, brother? The brilliance of Russell Smith.
Doing well. Maybe a bit of an overstatement there. I don't know about brilliance, but see what we could do. Looking forward to a beautiful weekend. Tony, you got the Masters, a little baseball, a little orange and white game. What's not to love?
I live in a golf household. I boycott the Masters. Laura shoves that stuff down my throat, man. Just like I torture her with the Flyers. But last night, I had to watch the Flyers on our little TV. She had live from the Masters on the big TV, and everybody that gets on the hallowed grounds of Augusta talks like this. Even Scott Van Pelt was doing it during yesterday's golf match, Dubsy. I would love to hear you talk like that, Dubsy.
Well, tune in this afternoon at the Casual Pint. You might get your wish, my friend. Listen, making your wife watch the Flyers on a beautiful spring evening, you're making Laura watch the NHL. I mean, that sounds like torture to me.
Dubsy, let's take a couple phone calls. Dubsy's at the Casual Pint today. Where is it?
South North Shore Drive, 2045 Thunderhead Road, the blue building right between Kazzy's and Soccer Taco.
We've played. Hey, shout those guys out. We've played live music out there as part of their summer program a time or two.
That beautiful courtyard they have right there.
Awesome place to play music. I love those people, man. Shout them out. Get us back in there.
Yeah, Josh Robinette, his sister Lindsay.
Yeah, get us back
Great
in there,
folks. We're going to be in there 3 to 6. We'll have Smokies tickets to give away.
Yep.
A lot of baseball going on, so come on out and we'll get you set up this afternoon at the Casual Pint, North Shaw.
Dubsy, are you...
Dubsy, when are you coming to the new one in Lenore City?
I've been there, but I was there for their grand opening, the ribbon cutting. Bino, why weren't you there? That's the question.
Tell them why, Bino.
I mean, as the mayor of Lenore City, you're supposed to be at all these important events.
My apologies, Dubsy. I didn't know that you had made the trek.
I was in your city.
Hey, Dubsy, I'm trying to keep the faith here. Billy Joel. It's like 1984. I'm trying to keep the faith here in this transfer portal stuff. You're trying to keep the faith. You and I have compared notes. We know Tennessee's swinging for the fences. Are you like me? Are you trying? I'm trying not to get emotional about this stuff, Dubsy.
I trust the process, Tony. I learned a long time ago not to worry about Rick Barnes as far as roster construction. He's always going to have a really good team out there. Is it going to be a super team? Maybe we talked ourselves into a little bit more talent coming in than we're ultimately going to see. I don't know. These prices, I mean, when JP Estrella's getting $4 million, it's like, I don't know what we're doing here. But I think Rick Barnes is going to bring in some nice players. He's going to have a nice squad. a nice roster, and I think you'd be right there in the second round of the tournament with this guy. That's kind of about where we are, and if you keep knocking on the door, one of these years it's going to open up for us.
Amen.
Dubsy, from your perspective, right, navigating through this is really, 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 really hard in our position. And somebody asked earlier, why isn't there more information out there on the transfer portal? Because it's all wild speculation. How do you answer that? Why do you think there isn't more concrete? I'm talking about from the people that do this for a living, not us. The whole recruiting game as a whole. Why do you think there's not more, maybe even reliable information would be a way of putting it, Dubsy?
Good question. A lot of thoughts on that. I mean, I've heard just here locally in our neck of the woods that Coach Barnes wants to keep things under wraps and close to the vest as much. We've got some pretty good sources on the inside there. And
you do?
We haven't heard a ton about specifics as far as who they're after and dollar amounts. There's a lot of speculation out there. But beyond that, I think the agents are running this stuff, Tony, and I think they're telling these kids to play it close to the vest. They're not doing interviews out there. And just, from a bigger picture standpoint, I think people in general are less likely to communicate with the media. I think there's just a lot of distrust out there, the media as a whole. I remember, Tony, back in the day when, you and I were doing radio and I was helping you out, and you could get anybody on the phone, right? You call up a guy who just finished a stellar 4-year career at the University of Tennessee. Sure, I'll hop on the radio with you. I'll come do it in person.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Now they won't even call you back. They won't even return your messages, right? They just ghost you. And that's been a frustrating change I've noticed in the business through the years.
Well, especially now that this thing is highly professional. Like, guys will say to me, what are you going to pay me? And I'm like,
yeah,
I'll pay you. What are you going to pay me? For watching your sorry ass for 4 years.
Yeah. My first glimpse of that was years ago when Rick Rogers got kicked off the team.
Yes.
And we had his phone number because we interviewed him when he committed and all this stuff. And I texted Rick, hey, you hop on the show with us, 10, 15 minutes. He said, sure, buddy. Here's my Western Union account. Just wire me, I don't know what he wanted, $100 or something like that. I was like, oh, this game has changed a little bit.
You know what it always comes down to, though? And we were just talking to Coach Del Monaco about this, and I was talking to him off the air about this. He says, look, I'm 68. When you get to my age, what you realize is this thing's about people. Bino and I were talking one day, and the revelation hit me about 15 years ago, and it totally reoriented the way I do the program. And that's why you and I are so like-minded, Dubs, is that this is about people. Ultimately, we get together and celebrate people. You do that with your post game. I do that with mine. You build community. I build community. We're not. You and I are so like-minded in that perspective because really, teams are going to play. Somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to lose. Somebody's going to be upset. Okay, fine, whatever. Tennessee had a hell of a season getting to the Elite Eight last year, and we had a lot of great memories along the way, and we celebrate those memories, man. And I love that about you.
Well, I learned from the best, man. So, it's a fun thing we get to do here. And how about Tennessee basketball? Rick Barnes, like the guy that, there's been a lot of criticism about him.
In March, yeah.
Through the years here. He's the one guy over there on that campus now that you can be reasonably assured is going to put an entertaining product out there for us to watch.
Bino, how do you answer that?
The truth. It's the truth.
It's really true. And he's the guy that's swinging for the fences in the portal. So, literally swinging for the fences. And which I said from the outset of this thing is they've attempted to do this. I don't know whether they're going to be able to do it. People are like, well, Tony's backtracking. I'm not backtracking. That's what I said from day one. I mean, they're attempting to do this, and they still might do it. But they're going to take a circuitous route to do it, which is the other thing. I wonder internally what that big board looks like, because you got this point guard I want. But then they've got to have a couple names under that. If we get a no from this guy, this is our next one. This is our next one. Because when they start letting very good players go, that tells me that they are going for it. You don't do that unless you're going for it, Dubsy.
Yeah, and, there are new names going. There's probably been 100 new guys hop in the portal since you and I have been talking. So, I just saw where the Alvaro Fulgaris from Iowa, who we were in on last year, right, when he was transferring from American. He just popped in. It's that's a proven commodity right there, a guy that could help you, that you have a previous relationship with, that's probably going to command a high dollar figure. But, I mean, there's going to be other names. There's going to be big-name point guards hop in here over the course of the next couple of days and everything. So, again, I think that Rick Barnes is going to figure out a way to put together a competent and competitive roster, more than a competent, but he's going to have some great players out there. And it's just, are you going to be able to get enough of them? I think the one thing we've learned is one guy, that was great. The Dalton Connect year, that was a lot of fun. Lanier, obviously, last year, Ament this year. You look at the Michigans, the UConns of the world, Florida last year. You got to have a couple of guys, right? You got to have 2 or 3 options that can really score, and then you teach the defense to the rest of the guys. So, and I think that's what we're doing right now. If you get this Lundblade kid, and I saw where the Dowd kid might be trending towards Auburn, who knows? But you get a couple of guys. I mean, is it better to have one guy who's going to be over 20 points a game for you, or would you rather have maybe 3 guys who are 14 points a game? Because that's kind of what Michigan had this last year.
You are kind of the man, Dubsy. Love. And today you're on the North Shore. Tell them again where you're going to be.
North Shore.
Yep.
3 to 6. Come on out. Hang out with us. We'll have the Masters on. The dulcet tones of Jim Nance.
Yeah, Bino loves that slow talk, that soft talking. Give Bino a little soft talk here on the way out, Dubsy. He loves it.
When you got the Bino, do you like the Masters nap on Sunday afternoon with the birds chirping?
How about it,
little
Bino?
Nap on the couch.
How about it, Bino? I whispered to
Dubsy, I've told Tony down through the years that if he keeps doing that whispering voice, I'm going to throat punch him. So don't let him drag you into this.
Thank you, Dubsy.
I want to hear Bino do it.
You're the man, Dubsy. Thank you, babe.
I got no whisper, Dubsy.
Bino told me one day, he said, Tony, I love you, off the air. He said, if you do that, he said, if I pick that headphone back up and you do that damn voice again, I'm going to give you the lariat.
Stan Hansen.
For you non-wrestling fans, look it up, because even Bino knows that the lariat belonged to Stan Hansen. But Bino is kind of a devotee of old school wrestling. He had some aunts and a grandma that believed in it back in the day.
Absolutely. My grandmother, 100%. All in.
I need to send you a great feud when Roddy Piper turned on Greg Valentine, Bino. Somebody cut it up and put it on YouTube from the Carolinas. Let's go back to our phones at 865-200-5402. Hey, I'm over here in Billy Joel. I'm in Billy Joel Ville. I'm keeping the faith. I'm keeping the faith with Rick Barnes right now. What choice do we have? Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony. Yeah, I guess you read my mind because I was want to talk about the Chaz Coleman situation a little bit.
Yeah, hit it. Go ahead. Let's unpack it.
I really don't know how to feel. I mean, because you got this whole aspect. I mean, as soon as NIL got involved, money got involved.
Yep.
I mean, that money corrupts. So it's going to corrupt the fans. It corrupts the locker room.
Yes.
It just brings a whole other different dimension because what is this doing to the locker room? If you're a backup to Chaz Coleman and you're just sitting there saying, this guy's getting paid $3.5 million and damn, he ain't even got to fucking show up to practice, and he can just say, I'm homesick or whatever. And I think our pass rush is what it tells me as a fan.
Yes.
is that it's going to be a lackluster year from the pass rush.
Bino,
If
well,
we're
here
already-
I'm going to read to you something that Brent Hubbs wrote, which pretty much is kind of verbatim of what we wrote the other day, but this is Brent Hubbs on Chaz Coleman, and thank you to EWAD for sending this to me. I'm not a VolQuest subscriber, but I love those guys. He says he's got to go to the practice field. He's got to commit to it harder. He's dealing with whatever personal things he's dealing with, but at some point in time, Chaz Coleman has to make a commitment that he's going to put in the work, and he's going to grind 7 days a week the way he needs to if he's going to be a factor for the football team. He's not getting ready to get thrown off the team or anything like that. I don't find him to be a great distraction. I don't think it's one of those dividing the team deals like Boo Carter, which I agree with. I agree with that. Now, one thing Brent Hubbs would agree with all of us on, which is a point you bring up, you can have a little hiccup right now, but if the kid disappears in the summer for 2 or 3 weeks, once they get this thing stabilized, you're going to have a decision to make. But the problem is, and we talk about this in the context of them letting the basketball players walk, these guys aren't a dime a dozen. The Ross kid was a nice rusher. The kid from Nashville, who they let go as well, is a pretty nice player. And they let both those guys go because they needed that money and the spot for Coleman. And if he doesn't pan out, that really hurts this football team. So you're right 100%. About that. And Brent Hubbs wrote exactly what I wrote a couple days ago.
Yeah, maybe. Do you think any of this might be linked to a little bit of Rodney Garner not being there? And maybe when Rodney gets back in full swing, maybe he can get him bought in.
I don't know. That's a good question, Bino. Rodney Garner does have a way. Rodney Garner hard coaches people, though. But listen, I appreciate the call. Thank you, my friend. And with our 10-second delay that we have here, he didn't make the airwaves. People were wondering how that fella got to stay on here. I 10-second delayed him for the radio folks. They didn't hear what went on there. But please, while we're on the radio, please refrain from the potty mouth stuff. I appreciate that. 865-200-5402 is the number. As we get ready to go back to our phones, hello and welcome.
Tony Basilio, Raw.
Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
How are my French compatriots doing today?
W or Lynn, how we doing?
What's up, W. Lynn?
Oh, I'm doing great. I tell you, that Rod Del Monaco piece was just that got me more passionate than ever because I was over there watching every game. Those were my Central boys. Those three guys I knew, Todd and Bubba and Chris, and two of them played Grego softball with me. So those were some good times over there, and I'm glad y'all talked about that. I really appreciate that, Tony, you having him on. That's a great honor. He's well deserved to get it.
Yeah, and he's kind of been away for a while because, you know, it's as he told me today, it was very difficult when he was let go, and he had a lot of trouble with that. And you know, you got to sort that out in your own mind. And as Rod Delmonico told me today, you know, it's all in God's time. When he was presented with this honor and the opportunity to come back, it's a beautiful thing, really.
And, you know, people forget sometimes he took us to 3 College World Series and basically went to the Final Four, went 2-2 twice, which is a 2-way tie for third. And you guys might remember that Cal Fullerton team won series and Miami the other. They could have beat a bunch of AA and AAA teams.
Yep, you weren't beating them. You were never beating them, W. Lynn.
No, you weren't. And, but that was some, you know, I can remember, you know, I was over there starting in the spring of 75. I remember when it was like high school bleachers. And then, they built the original Lindsey Nelson in 93, and that was a lot nicer.
Yep.
And, We got 5,000 a couple times during that era there in the mid '90s in there, and it was some good times. And a lot of people forget, all they had then was 8 regionals with 6 teams each. 48 teams.
Mm-hmm.
There was no super regional. You had to win that thing to go to the College World Series.
And buddy, that regional getting out of here, that year when Tennessee got out of here, that was blood sport, man. And they had people jammed into that stadium that day, Lynn, that magical day, that first time they went.
Oh yeah, I was up on the KA patio. I was alumni president, and we had people trying to pay us money to get up there. And I told the guys, we cannot let people up here.
You're not Italian.
It was we had the band party stage just stacked like the stadium. I think you might have seen pictures of that.
You're not Italian, Lynn. You're not Italian. I would have jammed them all in there. Or Bino, tell you.
Charge them $10 a piece.
Yes.
Hey, let me tell you what happened the first year we had it. Doug Dickey kept walking by because they had the alumni, wine and cheese section people tent set up to the side of our house and behind the SAE house. And he kept looking at us, and he finally stopped and said, "What is that, an alumni fraternity party?" And we just all laughed at him. And then he said, "Are y'all going to pay to watch the game?"
God, love me some Doug Dickey. It's so next level. Bino's got to tell a story about parking in Birmingham as part of our third hour. Laura just told me that we got a special guest that's just jumped in as well. We have another Nega Dave calling for the first time this week. He better be bringing me some good news out of the portal. You think Nega Dave's got good news, Bino? What do you think?
Nega Dave's going to bring you some good news.
Oh, as we continue.
I'm glad I'm on here today if that happens.
As we continue with more after this. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Tony Basilio here, and I got the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance 2026. Chad, do you believe we've made it?
Boys and girls teams start off the new year at big national event showcases. We got our younger kids training indoors and doing a lot of things to get better. So we're excited about what the future holds.
Chad, I hear the juice behind you. I hear the kids. Your program reaches throughout East Tennessee. If folks want to get involved, what's the advice?
We're easy to get in touch with. We offer players at all ages, all levels, all experience. We have a program for all of our kids that we have, and we're excited for anyone to join us.
And even some Lady Vols as well. Several college players all over the country, yes?
Absolutely. We had a lot of girls that we were able to watch play in the NCAA tournament. A lot of our former players made big runs through the tournament. We're so excited for them.
Growing the beautiful game. In this, the year of the World Cup in North America, celebrate the beautiful game. Get your child involved. FCAllianceKnox.org. That's FCAllianceKnox.org. And Chad, thank you, man. Keep growing the beautiful game.
Absolutely, Tony, and thank you very much.
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. Like our 2026 football Vols, score a T3TD every time with T3 Vodka, Tennessee's premium vodka. Handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. Right here, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Quality around here isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. And T3's filtered 10 times. 80 proof of vodka delivering a smoothness unmatched. This dedication to excellence has earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades, like a 5-time gold medal award-winning vodka and your SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner as well. Whether you're sipping it neat, on the rocks, mixing your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka, your choice for a premium award-winning experience. Be like Maury Hanks. Score a T3TD. Ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, and score a T3TD all 2026 long. Tennessee's Premium Vodka. T3, Tennessee's Premium Vodka. Distributed by Empire Distributors of Tennessee.
Big news, Basilio family. Get ready, because the 2026 Knoxville real estate market is officially shifting into high gear. All signs are pointing toward a record-breaking year, and the energy across East Tennessee is absolutely electric right now. Whether you've been dreaming of finding that next home, looking to capitalize on your current equity, or ready to dive into the investment world, the timing has never been better. Having a game plan is the key to winning in this fast-paced market, and I'm ready to help. Give me a call, Jennifer Morris, at 865-694-5904, or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Say it, know it, and write it down. Check us out at tclub.team today. The Throat's got some great stuff. He's encouraging patience on the Rick Barnes front. I am as well. Dubsy was on here saying, and I quote the great Sam Hinkie, who I refer to as Scam Hinkie, but you got to trust the process. Joel Embiid, who was back healthy for my Sixers, had his appendix removed yesterday, which he'll be out for about a month. You got to trust the process. What else do I have? Oh, Playbook of William Pattison on the way next. We're going to stay here and talk about it. Nega Dave is going to be in this set of 3 love songs in a row. If you want to get in, 865-200-5402. It's pretty outstanding. If you get out and enjoy the orange and white game tomorrow, we love you. Thank you. It'd be great. Remember, we're playing live music tomorrow night down in the O-Cité. If you're out and about, we'd love for you to come out and hang out with us. We're going to be down in the Ode City at Side Hustle from 7 to 10 tomorrow night, right across from Jig and Reel in the Old City. In the meantime, the great, you bow thy head when you say thy name. This young man, if he were a stock, I'd buy as much as possible. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the talents of William Pattison and Co.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
All right, we got thousands listening. Just alone, we have a couple hundred folks in the YouTube chat. Bino, your thoughts on Raul Del Monaco today, which was the highlight of my week on here. That was beautiful having him on, man.
Yeah, you give me the opportunity to do a lot of fun things on here down through the years, Tony. And those kind of things are really special. Welcome back a guy that did such a great job while he was here, and show him some appreciation that he probably was due more of while he was here.
Yeah, and somebody said, "Hey,"
for me as well.
Somebody said to me today, "How come you didn't ask him about Elander?" That's a mistake I made. I apologize. That wasn't that was not on my part a sin of commission. That was a sin of omission. I don't know. The opportunity to have him on presented itself today. I didn't really sit down and think about questions. We just had a conversation like two people that, knew each other at the time, which we did. And it's a true story. He picked the phone up and called me up one day. And I said to Laura, what do you think? I said, do you think that I ought to go over there and be the PA guy? And she said, you'd be miserable doing that. And I said, that's right. She knows her husband, Bino. I'm better as an outside guy than an inside guy. Yes or no, Bino?
Yes, Tony. Absolutely. And, a PA guy saying, that sucked and I didn't do it, probably wouldn't have gone over real well.
What a great line. Or look at those people in the front row. They're here every day. I would have never gotten through without cracking on people on that microphone. All right, before we go back to our phone, somebody said earlier that they thought that I went in there a little in an obvious fashion when I asked him, so you talk to your athletic director all the time? Did you pick up on that too, Bino? Did you think that was the egregious
yes, Tony,
on my part?
My first thought was Tony's got a little bit of an ulterior motive here.
You know the truth is?
You did not just...
No, I did. But Doug Dickey comes from a different era. Doug Dickey was a football coach first and a coach first.
That's right. Those days are gone.
Yep.
The old coaches can't handle the money part of things that go. You have got to have a businessman, and sometimes those guys are just pretty impersonal. I mean, that's the way it is. And the thing is, the day that this guy walks out of here, Danny White walks out of here, there's going to be a clone come in.
That's exactly right. We go back.
He's going to be the same guy.
Yep.
I've got to where the only thing I judge these guys by are their hires and their fires, and that's it, because they're all the same guy.
Steve-O's right. I'd be down there cracking on those two people that are down there when it's 45 and not. Like Sunday, everybody cleared out of there, and they were still there. I'd have been up on that PA cracking on people. They would have had all kinds of like games and gimmicks like Tony had, putting contests on the field. I'd been up there. I mean, there's no way I'd have made it through a season doing that. I'm too irreverent, man. I'm sorry. I couldn't behave myself. I had one time I was down in Lenoir City at a Walmart. Bino remembers this, and I go, Lenoir City. I used to say that.
Yeah.
And this good old boy came over, and now we're off the air. I can tell you this. He said, Bino, you remember this?
Oh, absolutely. Like it was yesterday.
He said, if you say Lenoir City one more time, son, he goes, I don't know where you're from, but I'm going to slap the shit out of you. And looked right at me, and he was a big old guy. You know what I said when we came back from that break? Walmart, Highway 321 in Lenoir City. He was standing right over me. Let's go back to our phones.
I'm wondering how we made it through all those years at Hardee's, is what I'm wondering.
Oh, my gosh. You know, how many times did the coffee club at Hardee's look at us like I was getting ready to wear an ass whooping, or they were getting ready to throw some coffee on us?
Man, we were Rodney Dangerfield in Caddyshack every time we showed up.
That guy goes, I'll slap the hell. You say it again. He goes, I'm going to stand right here. Say it again. That thing that W. Lynn said, that story about Doug Dickey, because my favorite thing about Dickey could do the business and coach, which was a good, interesting thing about him.
No, that's right.
Of course,
that's right.
Dickey's form of business was 3 for me, and I'm going to put 1/2 in my pocket. Because back in those days, you know, it was they had the side hustles going back in. You know, when he got caught with Shackley, and you had another guy caught in the ticket venture, making up the tickets. You know, back then it was my kind of place. Let's put it that way. Too corporate now. It's too corporate now.
You know, yeah, it was old Vegas. Now it's new Vegas.
Go back to the phones. I like old Vegas over new Vegas. And give me the odds, Bino, that Nega Dave takes this call dark as he joins next. What are the odds on that, Beanstar?
I'd say you'd have to bet 1,000 to win 100.
Dave, welcome in.
Well, I wanted to start off with Dusty May in Michigan. Let's look at the transfers he brought in.
Okay.
And the Morris Johnson kid came from Illinois, and he was a top 30 recruit out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
The Cadeau kid was a 5-star out of high school. He came from North Carolina. Mm-hmm. The Burnett kid was a 5-star. He came from Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
I miss it. Mara was a 5-star. He came from UCLA.
Uh-huh.
And the Yaks was the only one that came from a mid-major and wasn't highly recruited out of high school. But he was 23 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Dusty May didn't have any misses. Yeah, maybe he's due for one with JP. I don't know. We're letting most likely Kansas pick off somebody off our Elite Eight roster. We already let Dusty May pick off Estrella from our Elite Eight roster.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, we are going after the center at Loyola Chicago, who led his team to a 9-24 record.
Yes.
And we're going after a 2-ish guard, 6'1", 6'2", that's getting ready to play for his 4th school.
Yes.
This first weekend is the most important weekend.
Yes.
Because when you get the first shot at a guy, mm-hmm. you've got an over 70% chance of signing.
Mm-hmm. Now, where did you get that number?
I got that number from Trilly Donovan somewhere reading through the deals.
For those of you that don't know, Trilly is a pay site, and Trilly is like in sports agency business, And Trilly has quoted us from time to time on things, and we've quoted him, but Trilly knows what he's doing. Trilly has a side site now that they've started, so it's Trilly Donovan and Skim Mulkey on the women's side. Skim Mulkey, Bino. There's Trilly Donovan and Skim Mulkey. It's true, and they pump them out. They pump out the information. Here's the thing, Dave. Here's the thing. This thing is off to a haphazard start here, there, and everywhere. Now, Michigan got a commitment from our guy that we threw back, sight unseen. Now, they're either going to be geniuses or they're going to be all wet and have wasted some money on this kid. I don't think there's any in between.
Right.
I hope the kid stays healthy and has a great year because I found that he represented this school with a lot of class, and I think he's a very good player. I've said that on the air. I've taken shots the last couple of years from people who say, I don't know why you brag on him, blah, blah, blah. I find that guy to be a highly skilled, great player. All that said, I would not have paid him $3 million. Now, the Evans guy, Dave, you and I and Matt Dixon are going to have to agree on that. There's no way, if I'm Rick Barnes, I let a tough, program-oriented kid like that get off my campus. There's just no way. I would have paid him $3 million to stay. I think he's going to be very good. So you and I are in agreement on that. In terms of who they're involved with right now, in a perfect world, Dave, here's what would have happened. Their number one point guard prospect would be on this campus this weekend. They would get that deal signed, and then they would have the credibility for the next 2 weeks to go out and spend the rest of their budget in a wise manner. Unfortunately, that does not look like that's what's going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
And so here we go. Let's see what happens. Let's see where it falls.
Duke Harris has been predicted to Michigan. Jamie Shaw put in a prediction.
Let me just share one thing with Jamie Shaw, okay? This is my information now, okay? I don't think Tennessee and Duke Harris are done. You will see that this weekend. I don't think they're done. You see what's right and what's wrong, okay, by the end of the weekend. I don't think they're done with him.
Well, I think it's over, but that's
I'm just sharing
okay.
with you. I'm just sharing with you some information that I've gotten in the last 15 minutes.
Okay.
Do with it what you will. I'm just telling you, and I know that guy does great work that you're quoting. I'm just telling you that trying to report on this stuff, information can be 10 minutes. So it's like the Dowd thing. Dowd went into the portal, Dave, with a do not contact and was going to kind of come to Tennessee. That was what we knew last Friday. We knew that. And now look at it. Now look at it.
He's going to Auburn. His girlfriend goes to school there.
Does he fit what Auburn does, though, Dave?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I mean, I just think that, and my buddy told me this. He said, now, what's the guy that runs the run show that you had on a while ago?
Oh, Russell Smith?
Yeah, I called in yesterday or the day before this show, and he kind of, he didn't believe anything I said, but that's all right.
Well, sometimes, Dave, you present yourself in such a wooden, literal fashion.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutes. And
you come across, Dave, like me. It's like me nestling up to Laura if I haven't shaved in like a week. You're very bristly, Dave. You're very gruff. I've seen through your tough exterior. That's why I've tried to coach you up. I think I've done it. You see how he's laughing, Bino? We've turned Dave into, we've kind of softened him, haven't we, my coaching, Bino?
I soften, I don't know. Maybe we've chipped away a little bit here and there, but no, I know Dave has solid information.
I'm not
Dave, I also know you're not going to look on the bright side very often of things either.
So you'll give this thing a chance, though, Dave, right? Before you just want to see it, right? You're just a little worried like I am? Or are you proclaiming it over?
I'll give it till the end of next weekend.
That's fair. Yeah, I think then next weekend we'll have a better feel for where we're going and who they're involved with.
When's the last day you can enter the portal? It's just 2 weeks long.
21st. Thank you, Bino.
Yeah. Well, and I've discussed it. I discussed it with Jeff that Barnes has been a culture guy like an Izzo, and like he said, this is you basically going to go out here and have to build a complete team. And
That's what doesn't make any sense to me. I agree with that.
I just don't like that, man.
Listen. I said it at the time they did it. I told people before this thing started, my information was they were going to go after offensive players and they were going to go all in. I never dreamed in a million years they would cut everybody loose. I never dreamed in a million years they would look at the roster and go. But what Barnes said behind the scenes is, guys, we lost 11 games with these guys. We can do better. But here's the issue. Here's the issue. The old saying is a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, and I think they're finding that out a little bit right now.
I think they got a little sticker shock, Tony.
Yeah.
I just do.
Yeah.
I hope it works out. But I don't know if it's going to, and I hate it. I hate for him to go out like that. But you think that if it's not a very good roster, that he may hang him up, and Jeff thinks that even though it's not a very good roster, he'll coach and then hang it up.
I worry. Yeah, we both worry. Yes, that's a fair assessment.
Yes.
Again, we're not speaking in absolutes, but the thought has crossed both our minds. I said it wouldn't surprise me. I didn't say it's going to happen, and neither did Bino say at the end of the year he's quitting. But the thought has occurred. The thought has occurred to both of us.
I wished I would have had. It wouldn't surprise me because that's the real thought.
Yeah, that's all.
It would not surprise me.
Yeah, look, you've been there, you've done that. You're in your 70s. You're in very good health, by the way. You take incredibly good care of yourself. He loves what he does, but this has to wear thin. This has to wear. And then having guys you thought were going to stay on your roster come to you and demand like 2 or 3 times more than you thought you're going to have to pay them. You know, I mean, that can't be fun for anybody. I would be pissed off if I were him. You want what? But from the kid's perspective, you know, when he had an opportunity to market himself to UCLA after the great run, he did the same thing. So it's all business, man, at this point, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, Barnes has done really, really good with a player here and there in the portal every year. Mm-hmm. But for every Connect, for every Lanier, for every Gillespie, he's had a Tyreek T, he's had an Amari Abram, and he's had a Darling Stone Dubar.
Everybody has those, but look at his transfers this year. You don't think that Akpar was any good?
Well, Akpar's been in the program 2 years, but he was good. Yeah, but he was. He's a good one.
He's a transfer.
Yeah.
You don't think that Gillespie was any good?
Yeah, I included Gillespie.
Well, what I'm saying is, Dave, everybody misses. Tennessee had enough on this roster to somehow get to the Elite Eight. Now, to me, personally, I don't think that was an Elite Eight basketball team. No. They didn't look like an Elite Eight basketball team this year. They're kind of their bracket cooperated with them, but they pounded the teams they played. They beat that poor Iowa State team like they were mad at them. But again, they've let a lot of those guys and a lot of that physicality, I hate that word, but a lot of just that toughness walk out the door.
Yeah, they let what we did well this year leave.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's rebound.
I agree.
It's gone.
No, I agree. It's very.
Hey,
Dave.
Dave, one thing I don't think we're giving enough credence to is you're exactly right. There have been hit and misses.
Yeah.
But the last 3 years, he's been much, much better at it than he was the first couple. Because most of those misses you're talking about were before the hits you're talking about.
Right, but the problem is now, going forward this year, he really can't afford any misses.
Dave, are we getting our point guard out of the portal? What's your feeling?
Yeah, we'll get somebody.
No.
No, we getting our guy? We getting the guy I want?
No, we're not getting that guy.
You know who I want, Dave.
Oh, yeah, of course I know who you want, but he's not. He's going to test the waters, and he's going to stay right where he's at. If he doesn't go. It just is what it is. That was a long shot anyway. And maybe it wasn't. Maybe what you were hearing before, it wasn't a long shot. But
they
thought
they had him. No, they're one of Tennessee's prominent name boosters. Name people know was out there telling people they had him this week.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Man, that one cuts me deep.
Who knows?
Oh, that because let me tell you something. If you had him in the fold,
super team.
Oh,
this weekend,
super
you
team.
know what you can build around that like crazy.
Super team. And if you can get him middle of next week, you can build around him. That's why I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on that. They're not giving up on that.
I just don't like the fact that this new coach is it Morrow? Is that his name?
Yeah, Amaro Morgan.
Yeah, Amaro Morgan. That the two players coming in this weekend are connected to him.
Why don't you like that?
Well, he's just, he hasn't got much coaching experience, and he's not been in the game very long, and these two guys are kind of mid, don't he?
He's got knowledge. You don't know they're mid. I trust Maury Hanks' eval. Now, Maury did say the kid at Cal is a two-guard masquerading as a point guard, which leads me to believe that they're going to do something with this point guard position. It's either going to be my guy or it's going to be somebody very good. They get this guy from Cal and get him at the right price. That's a great offensive player to pair with your other two guard. That's an upgrade over Bishop Boswell.
Well, sure it is.
And the Lumblade guy is a sharpshooter, and we don't think about him. And the Brown guy is going to come in here and be a very good player next year. So.
Yeah. The center from Loyola Chicago he's played 3 years. He's a 53% free throw shooter.
Well,
that's not good.
You're right, but they're going to have three. They're going to sign three of those guys. He's not going to be a high ticket item. This kid.
All right, guys, let's cross our fingers.
Thank you. Yeah,
we'll do it, Dave. Thanks.
The kid at Cal's not a share the basketball guy, Bino. He's a ball dominant, take it to the hole. Not like Maury said yesterday. Not afraid to play through traffic. I don't know if you caught any of our Maury segments this week, but Maury Hanks, who's an NBA scout, joins us, and as players come on the radar, he comes on with us and breaks them down scientifically. It was Brian's idea.
That's a great addition.
Great idea, Brian. He's been great, Brian. Great call by you. Let's go to the phones. And Maury kind of teaches us, sort of what to look at with these guys and what to look for. And he picks the phone up and calls a bunch of coaches in their league and has just a ton of access. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Well, hello, Tony.
Hey, Richard.
Hey, Richard.
Oh, well, it's good to be in. Beautiful day. So I had the opportunity to give a call and talk a little basketball. And, been listening all week and listening to, or following online and stuff. And I guess everybody's just I guess the majority of the fans are just up in the air, in arms because of the players we've let go and this and that and not knowing where we're going. But so I'll give my little just 2 cents worth what I think, Tony. First of all, we know if we would have kept all those guys and added a couple of pieces, depending on who we added, maybe it's a possibility. We do make a run again to the Final Four. It's possible. We depend on who we would have added if we would have kept all our guys. But, when I look at it and I see what they're doing, and they wanted to keep some of them for a certain price, but they weren't going to pay them that much money. So we've lost more than we thought we was going to lose. And so we're like you said, we're swinging for the super team. Well, you know what? I love it. I love it. The man's on his way out. He knows he's at retirement age. And we've been getting to the tournament year in, year out, year in and year out. We've got 3 straight Elite Eights. So what? If we go for it and we come up short on players and it doesn't transpire, then oh well. I'm glad we tried because he's trying to put that team together that he knows he can get to the Final Four and give Tennessee fans what they've always wanted, and that's to get to the big dance. But here's what I say. If he doesn't get the super team and whatever team he ends up with, I'm not like negative. I still say, Tony, he'll put together a team that will get to the NCAA tournament and will challenge in a few rounds because that's the kind of coach he is.
Oh, he's always, no question. I don't know who they're getting, but when he rolls out of bed, they'll win 20 games next year. Yeah. My question is, will he want to run it back at his age and fight for this when obviously they threw good players back with the thought of building the super team? Will he want to do that? And that's a worthwhile thing to ask out loud, by the way.
Yeah. I think that the fact that he's doing this tells us that he's finished. He's going for it.
That's right.
And right. So there's no doubt. And it's like you said, Tennessee's already high on his replacement. Everybody, that's one of the biggest unkept secrets in basketball. Everybody knows who's got an eye on that job and who wants the job and who'll be seriously considered for it, whether they hire him or not, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, this is it. This is his career. He's up on his crescendo of basketball coaching, and he's going for it for himself and for this program and the fan base. And I'm all for it, man. And if we don't get there, we don't get there. But at least we're trying, and that's what hadn't everybody and all these fans I've been listening to for years been crying for us to try. We're not trying. We're not saying enough. We're not doing it. Well, man.
This guy's swinging, man. Hey, this guy's and you know, close to home, right in your backyard. They're trying to get that guy, and if they get him, that will be one hell of a great team next year. Because if you get him, you will have a great team. You get him, you will have a great. I promise you this: you'll have a great team if you get him. Juke Harris or no Juke Harris, you land that point guard, and you're going to have a great team.
Oh, absolutely. And I'll say this: that the kid from Cal coming in on the visit. If they add him to the roster, Tony, he is what you want coming off the bench. You need another player that you've got on your bench that can come in and score basketball.
Yes.
Big time. So how in the world why would anybody knowing we've got this many numbers to sign? Absolutely, I want the kid, man. That adds to the amount of players that you got that can actually score the basketball.
Yes.
So, yeah. So I'm not in no way negative. If that guy commits to us this weekend, hey, I'm great, man.
Hell yeah.
Let me tell you, what else did we get off the bench from the guard position
well, that's
this year?
The point. Now I've got Lumblade and I've got him. I've improved there. I've really improved myself at the two guard now. You're exactly right.
Yeah, yep. I'm all for it, man. More scores, the better. Need scores, man. I need those guys.
I need you to get involved.
I remember my favorite bench player back in the day in the NBA, Tony, was the microwave, man. Look what he did for Detroit.
Oh, you better believe it.
He had his limits, but, boy, when he came off the bench, he was instant offense, baby.
I want you to go down and intervene this weekend.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Because I'm, growing up as a young person, I was a big Sixers fan myself.
Yes.
Because of Dr. J and Bobby Jones and all that group.
Yes.
So, back in the day when you played defense, you couldn't play defense. Today's world, these guys can grab, hold. Back in the day in the NBA when Bobby Jones played, you couldn't defend people that way. You'd foul out in the first half the way they allow you to grab and hold. What kind of defensive player, Tony, because since he was an All-NBA Defensive Player of the Year and he was really good at his craft, what would he be as a defensive player if he could grab and hold?
Bobby Jones was a freak. Now, the Sixers got him. He played at North Carolina. He played in the ABA for that Carolina team they had there. He was as pale can be. He could flat out get off the floor, Richard, like nobody. He's the leapingest white boy I've ever seen in my life, Richard. I've never seen a white guy jump like that. I was in the old Spectrum one night, and the Sixers were playing Detroit, and he went up over somebody and did one of these numbers. I mean, he was rim rocking. Out of nowhere, he could leap.
Yeah, I always just kind of wondered, the way the old rules were enforced versus now, just some of these guys, what kind of players they truly would have been.
Yep.
Like I said, because I don't know, when it's kind of like ball handlers. I don't know how good some of these guys could have played 30 years ago when they weren't allowed to palm the basketball.
It's all palming now. You're exactly
Yeah,
right.
oh, absolutely. Who
Richard,
knows how good they would have been.
I'll tell you one thing that confuses me, and I appreciate the call, is why the NBA is so popular. That is a league in the regular season where half the teams don't even try. And during the regular season, that is a league where, and I'm not making this up, but that is a league where not only do half the teams not try, but half the stars each night just sit out. Healthy. Just sit. And that is a league where LeBron James is allowed to run a franchise to the point where he has a son who literally is a borderline G League player. And last night they had the father-son assist. Like the LA Lakers are LeBron James's vehicle now, Bino. He went there to win a world championship. He won one. It was during the bubble. When with that old broken down team they had, that was the only chance they had, a shortened season like that, playing a little tournament in the bubble. Bri, you like the NBA night in, night out? You follow it? Or you wait till the playoffs, Bri?
No, I don't. I barely watch any games that don't involve my team. And I don't watch my team every time they're on. If there's something else that I have to do, it's something I don't plan my day around.
I mean,
but during the playoffs, I will watch my team. Yes.
Bino, LeBron and his son got a father-son assist last night. Now, is that some great story? I mean, his son didn't even belong in the league. He's taking somebody's spot. What are we doing?
I guess it's a story when anybody gets an assist in that league.
Back to the phones we go. Brian, do you watch WNBA in the summer?
No, not for 1 second.
I watch when Caitlin Clark's on. I like Caitlin Clark. She's my jam. Hello and welcome in. Let's get our next call in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tona. Bobby. Hope
What's up,
you guys
brother?
are well.
How you doing?
Actually, really well. What a day to be alive and well in East Tennessee, man.
Man, the
I don't know if it
allergies.
could get much better than that.
That tree pollen swallowing me today. But
Yeah, buddy.
right on.
The Yaller flu.
Yep.
Man, the Masters is on. Life is good, boys. Can I just say something for Dave? Because I've gotten on him before. What a measured approach. Tony, your coaching has gone a long way. He was very measured today.
Goddamn time somebody recognized that we are coaching Dave up. Because he is an absolutist from the word go. If Dave
He is. He admitted that just now on the radio.
If Dave would have grown up in the Middle East, I'm not sure he'd be with us right now. Bino, can I say that out loud, or is that an improper thing to say? Because Dave has that all or nothing mentality, Bino. Yes or no?
Oh, yeah. No, Dave's all in. Mm-hmm.
Is the implication that he would strap himself with a bunch of bombs for 72 virgins, Tony?
He's definitely. Yes.
Oh, gosh. Well, I actually keep hearing things that you've heard. I've heard it for about 2 or 3 weeks, which I bet is about how long you've heard it, that kid at Vanderbilt is not happy over there. He doesn't like the nerds, as it were, that he's surrounded with.
Don't tell Vandy Dandy that.
I keep hearing that, too. And I don't know which high-level donor it is, but I have a feeling I know probably which high-level donor it is you've heard that from, Tony. And if that's true, they're going to throw the bank at that kid, especially now that the kid from Cal, I don't know if you just saw that, he just committed to Ohio State about 25 minutes ago.
I thought that was the other kid that committed to Ohio State. I thought that was the other point guard that committed to Ohio State.
That was Justin Pippen, who's Scotty's son, that committed to Ohio State.
Scottie Pippen's son.
Okay, I misunderstood then.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just saw Cal guard and thought it was him, but it wasn't.
It was Pippen.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And that's the other thing about this. Well, that's the other thing about this. You've got multiple players from multiple teams in the portal, and it's just so hard to keep track of all of it. It's insane.
It is kind of wild. In what world is JP Estrella a $3 million man, Tony, or more?
Not in my world, but I would have paid Evans.
I would have paid Evans too. I agree with that. And he only wanted $500,000 or something.
No, he wanted 2.
2 total. I heard we offered like 1.3 to 1.5 somewhere in there.
They let him walk over about $500,000. Yep.
I wouldn't have let him do that. He's a program guy. He's a nice basketball player. He's a tough guy too. You need tough guys.
Yes.
Especially with the way Barnes plays, and he's proved against Vanderbilt that he can score against requisite competition. So I think that was a misstep, and he hasn't gone anywhere though, right?
No, he's not anywhere.
There's a chance, I guess, that they say, "Hey, we're sorry, $2 million. Here you go. Come on back." Maybe.
I would.
I don't know.
I would.
Yeah, you say it all the time, and you're dead on, Tony. And that is, it's one thing to be wrong; it's another thing to stay wrong.
Danny
and
White.
I think that's just wrong.
Hello, Dr. Danny.
Oh, no, he's never wrong.
Oh, that's right.
Forgot to tell you that, right?
That's right.
Dr. Danny, good grief. We could go on all day. I did, by the way, your shot across the bow with that Delmonico about Danny White versus talking to his coaches. I think that went over Mr. Delmonico's head because I don't think he thinks about that, but I thought that was hilarious. About wrecked my car. I was laughing so hard.
I just think it's really interesting, and the reason I underscored it is I think it's interesting that in that era, an athletic director would be that involved that he would call you after series and say, okay, you got a series win. We got to win Tuesday night. I think that's very, very, very interesting.
Tallman was a great athletic director. A lot of people don't realize how good he really was. I know he was focused. Yes. He let the basketball team rot on the vine. But he hit gold with with Rod Delmonico, and he kept cultivating it. That's not a bad thing. Our baseball team in the 90s and 2000s was legit. I know a lot of our fans now didn't realize how good we were, but we were very, very good and had all-American type players all over that field. And I'll leave you with this, Tony. I don't know if you've been keeping up with the Masters. Oh, Rosie, he's poking around. He just made 4 birdies and 5 holes.
Whoa! Let's go, Cracklin' Rosie! Thank you. Bino, how much Masters will you watch this weekend?
I watched quite a bit of the Masters, Tony.
A sampling of our takes on Back to Our Phones, who's an irritant of mine, says Basilio's never wrong. Brian, get Tim Jankovic on as a guest to talk about Lundblade. Yeah, we ought to do that, Brian. Vandy Dandy wants to bet anybody $100 Tanner doesn't go to Tennessee. I don't know where he got the idea that Tanner. I didn't say anything about that. J.S. Carto says, "What has Danny done for us lately?" Valdad said Dr. Danny couldn't write a prescription for Skittles. Somebody else said Danny auctioned off a toilet seat. Bino, when they did that, I told my brother about that. Who's a builder, that they did a table for one of the urinals in one of those old bathrooms in Neyland Stadium, and somebody they enclosed it in glass. And at an auction, somebody paid close to $3,000 for a piss door, enclosed in glass.
Wait, now what?
Huh?
They paid what?
Sean Webb said Striper. Is Michael Sweet going to be with Striper tonight? Sean Webb, is Michael Sweet going to be there? I'll show you a little range here, big boy. Striper's in Pigeon Forge tonight. That's cool. To Hell with the Devil. Great record. All right, where was I? Bino, they had an auction last year of items outside of Neyland Stadium. They took out of their fixtures and whatnot, Maury Hanks. And one of the items was a door to a toilet. You with me so far?
Oh, I seem to remember this. Yes,
and
go ahead.
They took the door and they enclosed it in glass, and they made a table out of it. And somebody paid $3,000 for that at auction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things are worth what somebody's willing to pay for them, right?
Sean Webb
JP
said,
Estrella.
Wow, Michael Sweet is there. Wow, I love Michael Sweet. Brian Bino just tied it into JPS drill. Brian, in your humble opinion, would you own that and put it in your house? The piss table?
No, I would not.
How about you, Bino?
I would not, Tony.
I asked Laura, I said, should we bid on that? Because Bino
might as well own one of the troughs.
Bino
going to do that.
Bino knows I love junk. Oh my God, can you imagine outside the Rainier studio having one of those troughs, Brian? That's a great idea. Could you get the trough? I got to call Chucky Mack. Could you be able to get the trough so that you could flush the trough when you use the trough, Bino?
Chucky could.
Or does the water have to run 24/7 on a trough? Because to have a wall outside the Rainier studio where you can go urinate.
Combined fountain and urinal.
Yeah. Like Pruitt's Net Gator says, a trough in your house would be so cool. Mr. Tubb says he wants the one with the nachos in it from that Georgia game. Do you remember that person that ripped Sodexo? They said, these are disgusting. These are gross. And he took the nachos and threw them upside down in the trough. Sodexo took their lumps back in the day.
Oh, no.
Dr. ZDDS said Basilio would sure eat off a trough if Vitello used it. You see that, Bino? You see what you've done to me in here?
That's uncalled for, Tony. I stand against it.
True or false, you do believe the story that Doug Dickey looked at those guys and said, are you guys paying when they were watching the game?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Favorite Doug Dickey story of all time, told to me by Tom Mattingly. The upset victory by Memphis of Tennessee in 96. Mattingly was standing outside UT's team bus. They were getting ready to board. And this guy walks up to him, Memphis fan, and he wants a commemoration of that day. And he says to him, can I have that? Mattingly's media guide. And Dickey looks at him and mouths, $20. And Mattingly got $20 in 1996, which in today's money is how much, Bri? Let me look this up here. What do you think $20 in 96 is, Bino?
Probably 50.
I'll go 40.
20 in 1996 today is $41.66. And I said, well, what did you do with the money, Mattingly? And he said, I don't know. I gave it to Doug Dickey. He put it in his pocket.
Brian went over. I win. The Price is Right.
Bino, how much of that story are you buying that Mattingly laid down?
100% that one too.
Me too. For the kids listening, you had to really understand who Dickey was. Another great Dickey story. Then we'll go to the phones. Chris Lowe said he was eating with him at Copper Cellar. Chris Lowe did what any great reporter would do when you're covering a beat. Now, you can't do this with Danny White because he ain't going to have lunch with anybody. But he would eat frequently with Doug Dickey down at the Copper Cellar on Cumberland Avenue. Chris Lowe would. He had a great relationship with Dickey. And so they're sitting there talking. Bino, you remember this story?
Not off the top of my head, Tony.
Guy walks up to Dickey, and he's got some grapes. And the guy starts in on his grapes with Lowe sitting there. With Chris Lowe sitting there, Dickey looks right at the guy and says, now, what donor number are you? And the guy was like, 78. And Dickey says something to the effect of, I'll tell you what, you get in the top 25, you can interrupt my lunch. If you want to talk about this, you call me later. I'm having lunch. Don't interrupt my lunch unless you're in the top 25. And he looked right down at his meal and kept eating. And the guy just stood there just with his mouth wide open and walked away.
Well, I think that was good on Coach Dickey. The guy was rude.
Danny White puts a stop to all that, though, because you wouldn't even approach him if you were out, because he'd have like 4 lieutenants guarding him. Let's go back to our phones. Bino, would you welcome Nate Ament back if he got outside the lottery? If he called you?
Absolutely, Tony.
Would you pay him?
I now hope that happens. When this process first started, what I thought it was going to be, I didn't want to see that. Now I would welcome that 100%.
Back to the phones we go. And what I would sell Nate Ament is, you would make a ton of money if you came back here. You would go from 13, 14, 15, 11, 10 to 1, 2, or 3, and it would generationally help you to spend one more year. Because if you end up going 13, 14, 15, there's a chance, son, you're going to end up in the bus leagues. There's a chance you're going to end up in bus leagues, son. That's how it goes in the NBA. Hello, and let's get our next call in. Hi, you're on the air.
Tony.
Yes.
It's Sam.
Hey, Sam, welcome in, buddy. You feeling ill?
I snuck my phone out on the Masters. I'm in Augusta. I'm on the 7th tee.
No, you're not.
Don't talk too loud.
Hey, Sam, you're going to get thrown out of there if you're not careful, because not having a cell phone is a tradition, unlike any other.
Alexa, turn off. Tony.
Yes.
Did you see they threw Mark Calcavecchia out of there?
For what?
He was on his damn phone.
Might be the most next level thing ever. They don't play. No, they're not playing at Augusta.
I read that earlier today, I think. Man, how are you going to throw Mark Calcavecchia out? That's pretty harsh.
They don't care.
Tony.
They wouldn't care if you're a Masters champion. They don't care, man.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. They were just showing McIlroy signing a bunch of stuff for kids standing there. That was pretty cool.
I love me some Rory McIlroy.
Tony, I was calling you earlier in the week. You need to get Junior on here before all these Grand Slams and let him break it down scientifically.
My lovely wife was telling Anthony he needs to start doing a golf podcast so he can
I'll subscribe.
Well, he looked at her and said, "Mom, basically I don't want to be like him." Looking over at me. Well, that's not cool. What are you laughing at? It was my dream to hand this thing to him one day. Have a succession plan.
I don't think Ant's taking over the family.
Basilio 1 to Basilio 2.
Hey, he might come around, Tony.
Yep.
My advice to Dave, go outside, put the golf tournament on your phone, man, and just let it play out, okay? R.I.P. Roger. Man, like you said, it's pickup ball. All you can, you just have to wait till the end to see who they're going to get. I mean,
yep.
Anyway.
You really do. And you ride the wave with this stuff. What it's going to come down to is, can you get a great point guard? And then,
that's number one.
If I would have done it, I add the point guard first, and I build around that. Obviously, they're on a different timeline. They're on the kids' timeline. But let's see if they come out of where they are,
Right. Yeah, the interview earlier, congratulations to Coach Delmonico. What a great dude and a great interview. And that story about Helton, that's kind of like my 8th grade year in Memphis. Germantown High School had like the #1 baseball team in the country. They had Jay Hood on that team. He went to Georgia Tech, and I want to say played for the Reds for years, shortstop. But I went up there.
Brian, do you remember Jay Hood with the red legs?
No, I've never heard of him.
He was a good player. But they went up to, they were hitting the ball off the wall. We put in a relief pitcher, and they were just, one kid hit it off the wall. One of them just hit it into a neighborhood behind the field. So who you like, Tony? Who do you like in this golf tournament?
I sit it out because I'm in a golf family. I get golf shoved down my throat.
Come on.
No, I'm sitting it out.
So you're going to watch hockey all weekend?
What are you, a hater? Sammy, what are you, a hater? No, I'm going to watch a UFL, too. There's a UFL triple header on Sunday.
Tony, listen.
Yes.
What has been the play of the year so far in college baseball?
Probably that kid going over the wall on us.
Exactly. Now, for all these people that are just, oh, my God, what's wrong? Dude, this guy took over for a unicorn. I mean, hell, you've got people on here dissing your boy Basilio, or your boy Vitello. Tony, you knew there was going to be a step back, or you don't take over for a legend in the first year and walk out there and go to Omaha.
Sammy,
they've lost.
Sammy, what do you think the show would be like if I left? What do you think a drop-off would be like?
Well, if Junior filled the seat, we'd be fine. He would come out of.
That kid couldn't carry. That kid couldn't carry my jockstrap. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah. So, but Tony, listen, the YouTube is a trip.
Do you laugh at
half of those?
Do you laugh
if
at
half of
morons?
those bozos would call in, now listen.
Yeah.
So y'all are talking earlier about old boy, and whoever in the chat called him Sideshow Bob. Now, obviously, if he comes here, we got to get another name for him. But that's the guy y'all are talking. That's the guard they're trying to get.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll promise if he comes here, I won't call him Sideshow Bob ever again.
Thank you, brother. Good talk.
All right, Tony, man. Hey, good luck. And the baseball team is going to be fine. They're gonna turn the page and start hitting the ball.
Sammy, thanks. I don't know. I mean, if they were a stock, you'd buy them right now because they're in an all-time low. But, they got guys that can't bust a grape. And this Newstrom guy, is that the one that got left behind?
Yes.
I tell you that story today?
You did.
Back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony.
Yo.
What's going on, B?
Hey, Philip. How you doing, man?
What's happening, Philip?
Philip, let's have a little misery party here. The Kentucky fans, I understand, are melting down as well in the Commonwealth right now.
Tony, I don't care if we had $50 million.
Yep.
In our budget.
Yes.
We still wouldn't be able to get a player right now. I mean, we're awful.
The Chandler guy told his fellow Mormon brother. He said, "See you, wouldn't want to be you. I'll smell you later, brother." After 1 year under your tutelage, I'm going back to BYU.
I don't understand why all the Tennessee fans are so butthurt with you. You said the entire time we're going to swing, but we may not get any of them. And with Bino saying that what he said, I don't see what's so bad about that. I've never heard so much butthurt or read so much butthurt in my life.
Bino, care to respond to this Volcat, who I will not acknowledge because he's criticizing my fellow Tennessee fans?
No,
it's just a few voices out there, Philip.
Just a few voices, Philip, in the wilderness.
Hey, Tony, the one thing that I've been laughing out loud, buddy. I have begged you now for at least 5 years for the Pyramid of Blame 2.0.
Oh, my gosh.
And someone bring it. I mean, you bring it up to Dexo with the nachos in the section T. I mean,
You remember that on Twitter? Somebody said, "Hey, Sodexo, these nachos ain't worth a damn," and they took them and threw them right in that porta potty, and there were people urinating around them, and they took a photo of it.
That's one of the funniest damn stories I've ever heard. Man.
So, Philip, you find this show sophomoric and it tickles you? Is that what you're telling me?
Tony, I've told you before, my son is battling cancer. And
God
this
bless
is,
you.
honest to God, one of the highlights of my day.
God bless you, man.
I love sophomoric humor and anyone that can laugh at themselves.
Yes.
Take their job serious, but not take themselves too serious.
Yes.
That's my kind of people.
Well, listen, when you wake up in the morning and you wake up and the first thing on your Twitter timeline is a guy saying that universities should disassociate themselves with a scum like Tony Basilio, I mean, you better be able to laugh at yourself. And I want to tell that fella, sir, you watered my soul. Oh, and by the way, you're also an imbecile. No offense to you.
But Tony, I mean, depending on how this plays out,
yes,
that if Barnes swings and just misses,
yes,
this would be. I mean, there's not a better time for the Pyramid of Blame 2.0. I mean, there's not a better time.
It's all going to come back to Filmer again, though. He's the base of the pyramid. See, that was the joke. Because he's always, because that's what they did with the big girl. They put her on the bottom. Bino, are you allowed to say that, Bino, or is that politically incorrect?
No, you're not allowed to say that.
I mean, you even trashed you even managed to work the strength and conditioning coach in the Pyramid of Blame.
Oh, yeah. Pyramid of Blame back then was Alex Anderson goes, man, you got to film that. You got to film that.
Oh, God, totally. But, yeah, about Kentucky, my team, I honest to God, Pope is so bad. Mm-hmm. I really, in all seriousness, don't know who they're going to get because Barnes, he's got a proven track record.
Yes.
Pope doesn't have jack squat.
Very good point. Pope is Kim Caldwell with lots of money to spend. That's what he is.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, though, like you said yesterday, that money, the money may be dried up this year because all the donors saw what $22 million got.
I don't think there's any doubt. Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt that when you lose, my read on Kentucky is if they weren't going through the AD transition and what happened with Mitch, but see, Mitch wouldn't be transitioning out if he didn't make such a bad basketball hire.
Exactly.
And that's a terrible hire that he made.
Yeah. I mean, for him, you retire when you hire a coach that wins the Natty or gets to the Final Four or whatever. Or to the Final Eight like Barnes.
Yep.
So, but Tony, I hope, one more thing, Tony. So with the baseball team, when you look at right now, not based on potential, but how they're performing out of the starters, who all would go play for another team right now?
Not many
would start on another team based on current production.
No. Thank you. That right there, and I appreciate the call. Bino, that's truth about our baseball team. There's a couple guys that probably would catch on elsewhere, but the way these guys are hitting the ball right now, not many. I mean, when you look at their numbers in the league.
That's not good, Tom.
My guy Grimmer is going off in honor of the great David Grimm, and the great Paul Grimm. But who else is going off, Bino?
Yeah, it's few and far between, Tony. And that's, talk about like second contracts in the NBA. Wherever these guys go next, they're probably not going to make the money they were making here.
Yeah. Those of you that are praying people, let's say,
based on current production.
Let's all bow our heads and say a silent prayer for Volcat Phillip and his family here.
Amen.
Those of you that are praying people, take 30 seconds. Here we go. Amen. Beanstar, do you have anything else you'd care to add here on the way out, my man?
I don't, Tony. It's been a lot of fun. Hopefully Tennessee gets some signees in the boat here over this weekend, and then start rebuilding this basketball roster.
And let's stop losing to Michigan while we're at it. Chew Karras.
Amen to that.
Back to the phones asked on the way out. Tony, if we swing and miss on the guys, I'll give you the 3 names I had to start the deal with that had me all excited. Yep. I'll give you some names. I got no problem doing that. I said after the fact I would do that, which had me so excited. But hey, we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. I hope you have a blessed weekend. Get out and enjoy it. Every day is a blessing and a gift. And we thank you for being with us. Spread the word for us, Thunderbird. What's the price? 40 twice. We'll talk to you on Monday, and we'll do it all over again. Love you. Thanks. G to the B to the O. And it's a great Friday with Bino. I wasn't going to do overtime today either because my head is blasting me. You found the Tony Basilio stream at TonyBasilio.com or on your smartphone or tablet. Another thrilling, chilling, and sometimes spilling